Hi, hi. Lots of people coming in. Let's go. I need to know what song this is. The song is To Peak. You mean on my side? Yeah. So I have my own custom background music, and it is completely custom. And it is, if you want to watch or listen to it, then it is on my YouTube channel, so that way you can go listen to it. Still angry at the Hollow Knight boss? What? No! Totally! No! I would never be. What would ever make you think that? Not even a little. Not even a little. That boss is so hard. I'm gonna have to try my best to fight that boss at some point. I'm still so mad. I'm gonna have to like go back, and I'm gonna have to like. I have the urge to like go on an unplanned stream and go, guys, we need to beat this guy. This guy is a total a-hole, so that means I have to beat him. Also, apologies in advance. I completely forgot to add my sticky notes the last couple days. Don't worry, they're here now. More subathon time. Let's freaking go. Let's see. For anyone who is curious or wants their name plastered upon my head, it's literally just 5 gifted subbies. And then you can have your name written on my model. I am super excited for today. And I feel like I haven't really done an official space stream before, so this is probably the one time that I'm gonna probably actually yap a little bit about my knowledge and stuff like that, which will be absolutely awesome. So I'm absolutely excited to go with another good friend of mine. Her name is Kim, and we're gonna have a lot of fun talking about space probes and like NASA missions and stuff like that. It's gonna be super fun. I need it on my playlist as 2 Peak to listen to on YouTube and then switch to Spotify. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get like a Spotify here at some point. Cause I have to admit, whenever it comes to music and stuff, I usually listen to music over on YouTube, especially since I'm a YouTube premium enjoyer. I will die on this hill. But either way, I will have to get a Spotify here at some point if I plan on releasing song covers. So I'm gonna have to explore that at some point. Thank you so much for the follow, Loud Ninja 360. Thank you so much. Hope you're excited for the stream as much as I am. Hi, Ralph. Good to see you. I'm so excited for today. We're gonna have a lot of fun. And if you guys want two girly pops absolutely yapping about space and absolutely nerding out, then this is the stream for you. I'm very excited. I can't wait to listen to 2 people yap about the Challengers 2 explosion. Yeah. This is gonna be super fun. I feel, again, I haven't really done like an official stream or anything where I actually talk about my space knowledge and stuff like that. So this will be perfect. What are we doing today? Space probes. I'm gonna be reviewing space probes with my good friend Kim, and we are gonna put them all on a tier list because, of course, nothing's fun or interesting if it's not on a tier list. So we're gonna do a tier list, and it'll be a lot of fun. YouTube Premium is the best, but every song ever, yeah. Look, I use YouTube Premium pretty much every day, so I'm more of a YouTube Premium person than a Spotify enjoyer, so I have to admit. I have a 3D printed Saturn V rocket that I hand painted. That sounds awesome! No way, that's cool. So do you enjoy Dr. Stone? I never watched Dr. Stone. I feel like I need to. I get asked about Dr. Stone, but I never watched it yet. I need to at some point. Oh, another cool thing. So, another thing that I updated over on my OBS. So, I do a lot of technical stuff and stuff like that, at least on the back end, just to update and improve stuff. And I actually figured out how to make it so that way I am also streaming on Twitter. So if people are randomly doom scrolling on Twitter, then maybe they'll see my face, and then hopefully they'll switch and come over here to Twitch or YouTube. So I figured that out just the other day. So today marks the first official stream that I'm streaming on Twitter. So yippee! I don't know if it'll do anything, so I guess we'll find out. I don't know if it's gonna make a huge impact or anything, but I guess we'll see. doom scrolling on Twitter is pain, for real, yeah. And I saw it before, like, where it actually marks that you're live, like, on Twitch or whatever. So I was trying my best to see if I could figure it out. Turns out it was actually pretty easy. It was very easy to figure it out. So I was like, oh, I thought this was gonna be a little hard. I thought this was gonna be a little difficult, but good news is it was actually pretty easy. So Twitter, the bird app, well, no longer a bird. It's no longer a bird anymore. Now it's just called, now it's just called X, but I don't call it X. I still call it Twitter. Does anyone call it X? I think most people still just call it Twitter. Either way, I figured out something the other day, so kudos to me. If anyone is watching on Twitter, your messages are not gonna go through on my side. Not because it can't, at least on my chat or anything. It's more so just a precaution. Either way, you can actually move. You can just move to Twitch, and you can have access to all the good stuff. Good afternoon, I'm here to learn. As you should, Yuzu. So good to see you. Perfect timing. I believe we're about to get started here in a couple minutes, and you're gonna say hi to my other good friend, Kim. So I'm very excited. So good to see you. Barely anyone calls it X, most of us just call it Twitter. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like most people just call it Twitter still, so thank God. IDKY, but every time I watch your streams, it gives me Destiny 2 vibes. Is it because all the space? Is it because all the space inspo? Hold up, I can make it more spacey. Bah. There, now I'm maximum space. Now I am maximum space VTuber. And now I have all space. I'm gonna see if I can get you guys background music. I'm gonna see if I can figure it out. Hold on. Give you guys something else to listen to as well. There we go. I think I got it. Yeah. There you go. Let's go. Perfect. That should be good. I'll make it a little louder. Yeah. There we go. I'm stuck in ads. Someone save him. Someone save him from the ad-pocalypse. Someone save him from ads. Someone go get the raptor from save him from the ads. So much more space for sticky notes. Yeah. Again, it's just 5 gifted subbies. I made it super easy. And speaking of subbies, if we get to 150 subbies, then I will have to commission official made outfit artwork, and it will have to be official by law. By law. So if you guys want to see that, then that is definitely something that we can look forward to, and we can hopefully get there. So we're at 107 out of 150, so hopefully we get there probably this week. Maybe this week, if not next week. No worries, I'm here to have fun. That's the big part. That's what I want. Okay, let's see. I also added some more music to my playlist as well, so that's good. I'm very excited to also get some more, let's see. I'm trying my best to make my playlist full of, like, or at least the background ones, right? I want to see if I can just make it full of, like, classic Pokemon games or, like, classic retro games. Just that way you guys can have a lot of good stuff to listen to in the background. But it should be good. Is that Twitch and YouTube? Yes. The chat itself is just Twitch and YouTube. As far as, like, gifted subbies and stuff like that is concerned, for the subathon, it's Twitch exclusively. Oh my god, I think it's time. Hold up. Hi, I lost track of time. Like, let me switch this. I'm gonna switch screens so that way we can get ready. I lost track of time. There we go. I think we're good. All right.
Hi.
Hi. I lost track of time. I was yapping about, like, subathon and stuff like that.
No, you're good. I'm glad your subathon's going well. Do you want to introduce yourself to my space squad?
I absolutely can. Hi, everybody. I'm Aria Altair. I'm an astronaut VTuber, but not only that, but I also do space stuff IRL as well. And I'm super excited to do a tier list of NASA space missions and probes and stuff like that. And obviously, like, ignore all the sticky notes all over me. It's during my subathon, so lots of good stuff over there as well. Either way, I'm so happy to be here and have a lot of fun with you guys.
Nice.
Yeah, your
And
turn, Kim.
yeah. Hi, your community is the cadets, right? Right?
Yeah, all my cadets.
Hi, space cadets. Hi, I'm Kim. I love space. I love purple. I am an astrophysics grad student in the UK, and in the past, I've worked at 2 different observatories. So, space is my favorite thing. I yap about it a lot. And yeah, we're tier listing tonight. We are tier listing every NASA mission that has gone beyond the Earth Moon system, because there are too many space probes for us to tier list all of them. And there are too many, even if we narrowed it down to only NASA missions, there are still too many of those.
Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah, which means that we're tier listing JWST, but we're not tier listing Hubble, because JWST is in a Lagrange point and Hubble is orbiting Earth.
Right.
Yeah, but I think we have 53 of them, I think.
53 in total? I believe so.
I think so. It's however many tabs I have open right now.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. Yeah, so
I
Aria
love how
and I
even
had
after
both
like
researched.
Yeah, I love how even after like whittling it down, we were both like going through the list, and we're just like, whoa, that's a lot of missions.
Yeah. So most of the missions we're gonna go over pretty quickly. Aria and I we split the missions up into like halves, basically. Each of us went over like roughly 25-ish missions and have some facts about them. We'll go over the missions really briefly, maybe longer for some if they deserve it, and then we'll argue and agree on a place to put them on the tier list. And then Metallic asks, is the Europa Clipper mission included? It's actually not. We opted not to include missions that have not yet reached their final destination, or like their intended destination. So we don't have Europa Clipper on here because it's still in transit.
Yeah. Let's see. I feel like that's like a lot of these, whenever we go through all of them, like we were like, okay, this one is still a mission in transit and stuff like that. And like a good example of this, of like just like random ones that were just kind of like one-offs, is like CUSP. Like that one I'm gonna be yapping a lot about, and so that one's gonna be super fun. But there's a lot of lot of stuff in here that we're gonna be like educating on and stuff like that, which is, look at this list. There's so many.
And fair warning in advance, I will cry if we don't put Voyager 1 and 2 in triple S tier.
Yeah, no, agreed. I already agree.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Oh my god. Metallica goes, be careful, Aria. Kim is known to bargain on your favorite missions, so her favorite missions get higher on the tier list. I don't think that's something to be wary of. I think that's compromising.
I was about to say, like, I was warned by Kim herself about at least all the Mars missions, because if it was up to Kim, they would all be at like F tier if it was up to Kim. But
yes, but I did communicate with Aria that I understand that we are agreeing on where to place them, so I can't put all the Mars missions in D tier.
Look, I'll see if I can convince you at least on some of them, because there are a couple of them that are cool. Yeah. But I think we're both of the opinion
some of
that
them you can.
Venus is cooler. I feel like me and Kim were yapping about this before the start of stream, but we were both like, yeah, I feel like it would have been cooler if we went to Venus instead of Mars. And then I feel like that would have been way cooler.
That Venus is cooler, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, should we start? Should I pull up the first one?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so the first one, oh, sorry, I've been crumpled to the floor.
Oh, dang.
Somebody in my chat asks why I hate Mars missions. I will get to them when we get to Mars missions. Actually, today is, well, we can talk to it when we get to the probe. We start with Helios 1 and 2. Were these one of yours or one of mine?
Great question. I should have updated my notes, that way they would be in like listed off like one by one, like in order, but I did not do that. That would be too obvious to do. Let me see here.
These are one of yours, but if it takes you a minute to find them, we can do one of mine in the meantime. No, we'll just wait for yours.
I think I got it.
Okay.
Let's see here. All right. So, Helios 1 and 2. So, these are solar probes designed to study the sun and obviously the solar environment from extremely close solar orbits and stuff like that. So, think like any sort of like sun weather and stuff like that, just to monitor the sun. So, Helios 1 and 2, whenever they study like solar wind and stuff like that, they also study the magnetic fields, cosmic rays, dust, and environment closer to the sun than any like previous spacecraft at the time have ever reached, which is pretty cool. Helios 2 in particular came especially close to the sun and held the record for the closest solar approach for decades whenever Helios 1 and 2 were in this time frame. So I thought that was really cool whenever I was researching this. In my opinion, I feel like these missions were absolutely crucial like precursors to modern solar missions like the Parker Solar Probe because they went into like the brutal environment with like 1970s technology. So, that's pretty baller if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what year they were launched?
Let me see. I can Google that. I don't have years for everything. Helios 1 and 2 launch. Launch date. Let's see here. Yeah, so it looks like Helios 1 and 2, they were both launched like December 10th of 1974. And then it looks like the first, oh wait, that was the first one. First one was December 10th, and then the other one was January 15th in 1976. So both of these were in
Okay,
like
so
the
74 and
1970s.
76.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So you really like these two?
Just
I've
for
got which one
I
they're
feel like
here.
they were definitely the precursors for whenever we eventually discovered all the other cool stuff with with the sun. Because at the time, I feel like we
Mm-hmm.
didn't know a lot with the sun, especially in the 1970s. It wasn't until later that with like these missions that we actually discovered a little bit more about how the sun works and how like solar weather and stuff like that actually like figures itself out and stuff like that. So I think they're
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool.
Um, I would suggest, I want to know what you think. I would suggest that we put these in either A or B tier.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest too. I feel like I would be okay with like B tier or at least high B tier just because they were definitely the precursors. But there's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
plenty of other awesome missions that we're gonna yap about anyway.
Yeah. I don't want to be too over eager with putting missions high up because we have so many to do.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness.
Okay, awesome. So then the next one is, I think this is, oh no, this is one of mine, IMAP.
Hmm.
IMAP is new. It was launched in 2025, and it's positioned at the L1 Lagrange point, which I'm going to pull up Earth L1 Lagrange point. I know you can see my Google. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's the intent. So that's the Lagrange point between the Earth and the Sun, right here.
Ooh, another thing. Feel free to explain what a Lagrange point even is. Like, I feel like there's a
Yeah,
lot of my
so
viewers who don't know what that is.
yeah, if you are at a certain distance between two objects that are exerting gravitational forces on each other, depending on where this distance is going to vary depending on the object's distance and their masses. But there is a point between them that's almost like a center of balance or a center of mass where those gravitational forces on either side equal out. So you can have a stable object at that point. And those are called Lagrange points.
Peak. Peak
And so
explanation.
IMAP is at the Earth-Sun L1 Lagrange point and is mapping the boundaries of the heliosphere, which is the bubble that our sun makes that contains our solar system. It carries 10 instruments that are meant to intercept and decode cosmic particles from the ISM, in the interstellar medium.
That's actually really cool. Dang. And you said this was a more recent mission, right?
Launched in 2025, yeah. So
Damn.
yeah, so because it's so recent, there's not a lot of like, look at all these things it's done, right?
Yeah. I would want more news about it. Since it's so new, like hopefully we'll get more like news about it like coming up in the future. That's really
I
cool
know,
though.
right? Yeah. Um, I feel like, personally, I feel like it's no better than Helios 1 and 2, for sure. I would put it somewhere beneath them, just because
Yeah.
it hasn't really done anything yet.
Yeah, I
Like, if we
agree. We
redid this
don't know
tier
a
list
lot.
in 5 years, that might be different, but...
Yeah, exactly. We'll come back in 5 years and we'll be like, we need this updated.
What do you think?
I agree. I would say C tier just for now, just so that way whenever we eventually get more info, then maybe it like gets bumped up. I don't know. Maybe IMAP discovers like aliens or something. I don't know. Then it goes up to triple S tier, and then now we have to fix our whole tier list.
Yeah, and also like at least C tier because it launched successfully and is functioning, I feel
Yeah,
like.
true.
Okay, so then next up is Insight, which is one of yours.
Yeah,
This is
like
a
one of
Mars lander.
yeah. Let me see. Go to my notes. Where's my notes? Let's see. Insight. Insight. Here it is. Okay. So Insight, I know Mars. Don't freak out, Kim. It's Mars. I know it's Mars. But either way,
I'm listening.
what's cool? I think this one is actually pretty cool, just because Insight detected the first confirmed like Mars quakes and gave scientists the first like detailed look inside like what Mars actually does as far as like earthquakes and stuff are concerned. So we just found out like about like the structure of Mars and stuff like that, and like the size of Mars' core, which like stuff is like we estimated, but we haven't had any like official like data for, which is pretty cool. Either way, even though it did not like explore the surface like a rover or anything like that, it in effectively performed the like a geo like physical like investigation of like, oh, this is what this planet like does like geologically speaking, which I thought was pretty cool. So I know I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
have
feel
to
like you don't
convince you.
have to I feel like you don't have to move, like you don't have to have wheels to be cool and to be valuable.
You if you don't have wheels, you're not cool. Imagine not
Oh,
having wheels.
where would you put this one?
Well, so considering Insight is, I would say Insight just again was more like like geological stuff, right? I feel like, and there's plenty of other Mars missions that have done a little bit more as far as like oh, Mars have just discovered more of like oh, like for example, I know for a fact that Curiosity, which is another like Mars like rover that I'm gonna talk a little bit about. But in that one, like that mission discussed like more so of like oh, like the history of Mars and like oh this planet used to have like long term like water activity and stuff like that. I feel like with just Insight, it just talked more about like the earthquakes and stuff. So definitely lower on the list, which I feel like you would be happy about. But either way, not nothing too crazy.
Okay. So Insight launched in, I did some cursory Googling. It launched in 2018 and its mission officially concluded in 2022. So it's not
Yeah.
still functioning.
Yeah.
That's for a Mars mission, for a successful Mars mission, that's pretty short.
That is very short. I'm gonna do a Google. I wonder why it died. Did it die like just because of like mission constraints? Or are we let me figure that out. Insight why?
Yeah, I think it was planned, but I could be wrong. Let me know what you find.
Yeah, let me see here. Insight. Oh, of course. As soon as I Google Insight, why did it discontinue? The AI overview gave me Honda Insight.
Oh
No,
my
I'm not
God.
talking about a Honda. Give me the space stuff. Oh, okay. So NASA officially declared that the mission was complete in 2022 after the solar powered lander ran out of electricity. So that's kind of interesting. It just ran out. I feel like
Okay.
I feel like we discovered like how to do like electrical power and like solar power like pretty early on with space stuff. I'm kind of surprised they didn't bother putting any like solar power on it or anything.
I mean, it has solar. It's surprising that, like what happened with Opportunity, solar panels on Mars eventually get so dusty that they're effectively not functional anymore, but that
Oh
still
yeah,
seems
that's
like a really
true.
short time scale. So
Yeah,
that's weird to me. Um,
agreed.
I would put it in C tier at the highest.
Agreed.
Realistically, I would,
Yeah.
if it were up to me, I'd put it in D tier.
If it were up
But if
to
you
me,
want, we can put it in
bottom.
C tier.
Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if you put it in D tier just because it only lasted so long. And I feel like there's a lot of other cool Mars missions I can convince you otherwise anyway.
All right, first Mars mission in D tier. Take a shot every time a Mars mission is in D tier. Okay, next up is Juno. Was this yours? No, this one was mine, I think.
Bro, Juno's awesome.
So
Juno's
Juno
really
is
cool to talk about.
Yeah, Juno, like the Sabrina Carpenter song,
Yeah.
launched in 2011 and is still active orbiting Jupiter. It's the first solar-powered spacecraft to operate successfully at Jupiter's extreme distance from the sun. And it's done a lot of work related to Jupiter's interior and these like deep atmospheric scans of Jupiter that have shown us that Jupiter's core is not only larger than we expected, but also more diffuse than we expected.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I really like Juno.
I also really like Juno. Juno's really cool.
Yeah. We don't really have anything very high up, so I feel like it's hard to place. I would put it in either A tier or S tier.
I would be okay with S tier just because I feel like we're gonna have a lot of really cool missions as well. And I feel like since Juno had to travel all the way to Jupiter, like dang, that's really cool as well. Considering it also traveled so far.
Yeah, and Juno is the probe that's gotten us the pictures of Jupiter that like look like Van Gogh paintings. Juno got us pictures of Jupiter's poles that look amazing.
Yeah, they look so cool. Can you pull them up actually? They're really freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
These.
Look how freaking
the ones like
cool.
this are not true color, but the blue ones are.
The blue ones
are probably exaggerated color, but they're reasonably close.
Yeah, close enough. But look at that. That's so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
what a surprise that this planet that you look at from the side to see all browns and oranges. You look at it from the bottom and it's blue.
Yeah, like that. I thought that was pretty nuts too. Whenever I had to like study like all the planets individually, that's really cool.
Yeah. Okay, so Juno in S tier. Next up is Lucy, which is one of mine. So Lucy launched in 2021. It's also pretty new. And it's the first mission launched to explore the Jupiter Trojan asteroids, which share Jupiter's orbit. During an early test flyby in 2023, it discovered that the main belt asteroid, this is the name, Dinkinesh, is actually a binary system containing a unique contact binary moon.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
I gotta Google Dinkinesh.
Yeah, me trying to figure out how to pronounce that.
Yeah, so contact binary meaning there's two of them, but they kiss.
Asteroids can kiss?
Yeah!
Bro, give me my asteroid Yuri right now. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, contact binary meaning that there are two of them, but they're kissing as opposed to separately orbiting each other. And actually, the concept of celestial bodies kissing comes up more than once in astronomical literature. It also might have happened in Pluto's history. But that's a side note. Here's Dinkinesh, which Lucy told us more about, is the point.
So Lucy got us Space Yuri, is what I'm hearing. That's instantly like triple S tier.
Oh my god.
Let's see here. That's really cool though, especially for a newer mission as well. That's really cool. I would be okay with anything up pretty high. That's really cool. What do you think?
I would put it in either A tier or S tier.
Okay, I agree. I feel like that would be a good spot.
We
Eeny,
gotta pick one of the two. I don't know if it's cooler than Juno.
It doesn't have to be cooler than Juno.
It could
we
be
can rearrange
cool.
like all of the we can rearrange everything so that way if we like within a tier we could be like, oh, this mission was technically cooler than the other one, you know what I mean? If we have to, but it's up to you.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe S tier.
Okay, I'm down for that.
Yeah. But if S tier gets overcrowded, this would be one of the ones that I'm more willing to move like down.
Yeah, agreed. I would agree with that.
Okay. Next up is Magellan, which I think was one of yours.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it in my notes. Magellan. Here it is, Magellan. So, this one's pretty cool too. So, Magellan specifically is a radar map. So, it radar mapped the surface of Venus from orbit, allowing scientists to basically see like what the planet basically looks like from like the freaking cloud cover. Because with Venus itself, like the acid rain and all that jazz. Imagine trying to like sift through that. That would be so hard. But thankfully, Magellan actually made that pretty easy, and just because it has radar on it, which was pretty cool. So, what makes Magellan so cool is it produced the first near global high resolution map of Venus and revealed extensive volcanic features, tectonic structures, and a relatively young surface by comparison to most planets. And it also like mapped out Venus's gravity field, which is also pretty cool. And I would say just for be able to actually be able to go through Venus's freaking cloud cover and discover like what's going on the surface of Venus. That's crazy. That's insane. Especially since it's so hard for us to send a lot of like stuff on Venus because of the restrictions and stuff like that that's on Venus. So the fact that Magellan was able to like actually tell us what's going on with Venus and stuff like that on the surface and stuff like that, that's huge. That's insane. I wish we would do more like Venus missions and stuff like that because every time we go to Venus, we discover a little bit more about like the crazy stuff that's going on over there. So super cool
Yeah,
mission.
that is really cool. That's I like it. I like it. And it looks
I
like
like it,
it
Picasso.
launched in I like it, Picasso. It looks like it launched in 1989.
Yeah. Not even we're not
Okay.
even in like the not even in the 2000s. So that's kind of I don't want to say that's old, but like that's still relatively like old-ish with big air quotes with big air
I
quotes.
don't want to say old, but that's still old.
Old-ish with air
It's
quotes. I'm doing air
vintage.
quotes with my model right now. You guys can't see it.
It's retro.
It's retro. Either way, super cool in my opinion.
I would suggest putting Magellan in maybe like A or B tier.
I agree. I would say like A or B. Again,
Okay,
there's gonna
maybe
be
A.
cooler stuff. There's gonna be plenty of cool stuff.
Yeah. How do we feel? Can we put it in A?
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be a good spot.
Okay, cool. Um, and then somebody in chat asks, didn't the Soviets land a rover on Venus? Nobody has landed a rover on Venus, to my knowledge, but the
Nobody.
Soviets landed multiple probes. They just stood still. No wheels, as we spoke about.
Yeah, and the
Okay.
big problem with like trying to put stuff on Venus is again all of the like how are you gonna get through the acid rain stuff? Like we haven't as much as like back then we haven't really figured out how to do that stuff with Venus. I hope like one day maybe we could send something over there. Maybe we could figure out the whole acid rain situation. So
Mm-hmm. Okay, so next up is Mariner 4, which is one of mine. This thing is
Mhm.
old. You won't say
Yeah, it
old, I'll say
is.
old. This thing is old. This thing was launched in 1964, and it achieved the first successful flyby of Mars. So it returned the first close-up images of another planet in deep space
That
and
is
showed
really
us what Mars looks like.
hmm. You said that this was the first one, right? Let's see.
Mariner 4, was Mariner 4 the first Mariner? I don't
That was
know,
gonna be
but it
my
was
question
the
because I know I have Mariner 5 on mine.
yeah. Let me find out. But first successful flyby of Mars. Um,
like losing. I'm like trying to remember how many mariners were there in total.
I think like 10 or 11. It okay. There were Mariners 1, 2, and 3, which we actually just don't have on this list at all because I didn't know those were a thing. I don't think we have those on this list.
Yeah,
we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yeah, so we don't have 1, 2, and 3, which Mariner 1 failed. Mariner 2 was a Venus flyby that lasted 4 months and was then decommissioned.
Mm-hmm.
And Mariner 3 failed.
Gotcha.
So we're not missing much.
Oh, okay. So it's like around when they got to like the 4 and 5 mark, they actually started like figuring their stuff out, is what I'm hearing. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so first successful Mars flyby with the first close-up images of another planet in deep space.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Then again, you're not impressed with Mars, so.
No, I'm not impressed with Mars. And also, like, yeah, just like, eh.
That's true.
I could put it above Insight because it did something first. Yeah, I mean, I guess Insight did things first too, but like, I could put it above Insight.
Yeah, I agree. I would say above Insight since it did give us pictures while Insight like died like not it didn't even survive for like 10 years or whatever. So, I would be okay with this.
Do we think C tier then? Or is that too low?
I would be okay with C tier.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, C tier sounds good to me. All right, next up is Mariner 5.
Perfect timing.
Which I think is one of yours.
Yeah, so as we already talked about with Mariner 4, that was for Mars specifically. Mariner 5, let's see here with my notes. I'm pretty sure it was the Venus one. Let me see here.
Yeah, so what we've been doing is if spacecraft either launched together or were twins like Spirit and Opportunity, then we're ranking them together. So Voyager 1 and 2 are ranked together, Spirit and Opportunity are ranked together, etc.
Yeah, I actually think I have Spirit and Opportunity. I have that one.
Yeah, those were yours.
Yeah. So, yeah. So with Mariner 5, right? It was admittedly considered a backup for Mariner 4, but then thankfully since Mariner 4 actually like succeeded and did its flyby all right, it was then modified to perform a close flyby of Venus instead. So Mariner 5 studied like very similarly to what Mariner 4 and studied Mars's stuff. Mariner 5 studied Venus's atmosphere, like magnetic environment and stuff like that. So it helped confirm that Venus lacks an intrinsic, like, global magnetic field, but still produces a bow shock enough through its interaction with the solar wind, which basically means that there is solar stuff going on with Venus, but it's also, like, I don't know how to explain this part good enough, admittedly. Maybe Kim can help me out with it. But it has a weirder magnetic field by comparison to most of other planets, which is kind of interesting. So while it was very like successful, it was admittedly like a backup for Mariner 4. But then whenever Mariner 4 figured its life out, Mariner 5 was like, okay, I guess I'll go do this thing instead. So take with that as you will. So
wait, that's hilarious. I love that. Okay, what do you think of this one?
I think it's funny that it was literally just like the backup spare. I think it's funny that they were like, guys, since we've been failing these Mariner missions like 1 and 3, maybe we should make another one and as a backup just in case if this one fails. So I thought that was kind of ironic and funny in a way. So
yeah, that's hilarious.
I would also say like C tier, to be honest with you.
Okay, yeah, I won't argue with that.
At least they're together.
Okay, next up, Mariner 6 and 7.
Someone
These
do the
were
hand
mine.
motion.
Oh, no. Mariner 6 and 7 were launched in 1969 twin flyby spacecraft that showed that the Martian poles are primarily composed of frozen carbon dioxide, not water ice. And they mapped about 20% of Mars' surface, but they only passed by it briefly.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I was gonna ask why only 20%,
I think that's
but it's a
boring. I
brief.
put them in D tier.
Yeah, if it's only like a very, very brief flyby, and there's it's two of them, right? Since it's 6 and 7, and they only got to 20%. So yeah, should have got the full 100. They didn't even make 50% of the way through. Losers.
What kind of completionists are they?
Yeah. Well, look at their fallen brothers and sisters in arms that has come before them. So.
Okay, I would like to put these in D tier, but I do want to point out, for the sake of consistency, not that consistency is a huge concern on a tier list, but it sounds like they did more than Mariner 4.
just a little bit. I mean, Mariner 4 was for Mars specifically, and then Mariner 5 was for Venus. So I understand like that there was like they did like I don't know, it feels like we're learning like different bits and pieces. And the reason why we are like I don't know, kind of meh on all of these guys is because they lasted only for like so long. It was very brief. I feel like that's why we're just kind of like, these guys stink.
Yeah, and Mariner 6 and 7, they don't have the excitement of like the first to take a picture of Mars or some shit. So, do we think D tier?
Yeah, like I agree. They definitely did more than Mariner 4 because I mean, like you said, successful dual flyby of Mars. But even then, like I don't know. I feel like we have plenty of other cooler stuff on here.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Mariner
Okay,
5
I
failed the
wonder what
speed
the
run
next
and
one's
needs to
gonna
reset.
be. The next one is Mariner 8 and 9, which, oh, these ones are also mine.
Yeah, I remember. I think I remember what happened with Mariner 8, if I'm remembering correctly. Didn't Mariner 8
yeah,
get lost
yep.
as well?
So they were both launched in 1971, but Mariner 8 failed during launch, and Mariner 9
Oh.
succeeded. But Mariner 9 then became the first planet to, or yes, became a planet, became the first spacecraft to orbit another planet. It orbited Mars, and when a global dust storm cleared, it discovered massive, unexpected geological features like the Valles Marineris Canyon System and Olympus Mons, which is the largest volcano in the solar system.
Ooh, that's really cool, actually. Okay, that kind
is
of makes up for
cool.
Mariner 8, like, dying within the launch.
Oh, but I am gonna judge it for Mariner 8 dying.
Yeah, because, like, okay, hold up. There's 10 total, and we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of them died during launch. So that's 3 Mariner satellites, probably, like, however many $1 million of equipment and planning and stuff like that just down the drain just because that they failed like within the launch. So
Yeah.
I don't know, that's not a great success rate. But then again, a lot of these missions are pretty old. I feel like a lot of these, whenever we were in like the baby steps of space and stuff like that, a lot of this failures and stuff like that was definitely more common. I feel like nowadays we thankfully, hopefully, have figured out a lot of stuff, at least as far as like making launches a little bit easier, which is great. But definitely, like during all these like older missions, you see a lot of these like lost during launch and like stuff like that.
Yeah, we definitely have gotten a lot better at it. But also, oftentimes when stuff failed in the past, like in the early space exploration days, like pre-2000 and even early 2000s, it was often failures for some silly reasons.
Yeah, like one of them was like math like calculation error. I know that for sure. This is why like calculations in space matter so much. And whenever it comes to especially like space and stuff like that, even the slightest calculation and you're screwed. Speaking on behalf of like how GPS satellites work, which is like more of like my specificity and like stuff that I know with satellites. If you are like even slightly off in space, then you are going to be meters off on Earth. So I could only imagine how terrible it is within launches, right? Because launches, like, you have your different phases whenever you're trying to launch something into space. And even if, like, one section, like, is slightly off or like is wrong, then it's not like you can like save it. I feel like it's
Yeah.
very much like the margins of error are very slim, so.
Yeah, but I would say, okay, Mariner 9, I think that's impressive. Mariner 8, I think that's disappointing. And I feel like we should average the two of
Yeah.
them for where we put them in the tier list.
Agreed. Average it out.
So let's see. So Mariner 9, first spacecraft to orbit another planet.
I would say above
I
Mariner
would-
4 and 5.
You think so?
I would say so, just because of the biggest volcano in our like solar system or whatever. Just because of that. But I don't know how I feel about Mariner 8. So I could see it being in
Yeah.
the same tier as 4 and 5. So
That's what I would suggest, because Mariner 8 I would put in D tier, and Mariner 9 I would put higher. So yeah, I would suggest we put it in C tier.
yeah.
Okay,
I
that
love
sounds like a plan.
Yeah. I love GPS, Global Positioning System. Yeah. Satellites.
Okay, we got the last Mariner on our list, and I think, is this one yours? Nope, this one's mine too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I took all the Mariners. That's okay, they're not that exciting.
They all most
so
of them
Mariner
died.
10, Mariner 10 was launched in 1973, and it was the first spacecraft to use a gravity assist, so like a gravitational slingshot.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also the very first spacecraft to visit and map Mercury. Okay, that's cool. We like
is cool.
Mercury. This is my favorite Mariner.
That agreed. That's really cool. And I also have to give points for slingshot maneuver. That's one of my favorite maneuvers ever. So I give points for that too.
Aria, when they hit the slingshot maneuver.
Yeah, peak.
Should we do B tier then, or should we do higher?
I'm okay with B tier. At least all the Mariners are kind of, sort of in their own little section, and they're all kind of together.
Yeah, we got the Mariner section. All right, next up is the okay. Next up is the Mars Global Surveyor.
Uh-huh.
Which that's also one of mine.
This one's cool.
I have Okay, so the Mars Global Surveyor launched in 1996, and it operated for a decade and completely mapped the planet from orbit. It fundamentally changed our view of Mars by finding compelling evidence of ancient water, including dried gullies and hematite mineral deposits.
Ooh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's not bad, I guess.
It's not bad. Not bad, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely cooler ones here too, on this list. Like, I know for a fact that I have a couple cool Mars missions that I'll definitely go over, but that's still cool. That's still definitely cool.
Mm-hmm. There are so many Mars missions. Is the thing.
Yeah, there are. Everyone's like, we're gonna go to Mars in the near future, and I'm like, which future? Not in my future. I don't see anybody in Mars yet.
Where would you put this one?
Ooh. Let's see. Honestly, I was gonna say B tier because I feel like there's definitely much cooler Mars missions that are definitely gonna go up way higher. And
I would agree with
we'll
that.
get there.
But that does make it the highest ranked Mars mission we've done so far.
For now. Near future being like 100 years? Yeah, probably, Ralph.
Yeah, real. Okay, the next step is the Mars Observer, which...
It's different.
It is different. It was launched in 1992, but it sucked, unsurprisingly, because it went to Mars. It was designed to take high-resolution images of Mars from orbit, but communications were lost 3 days prior to orbital insertion. And they think that that was caused by a rupture of the fuel pressurization tank in the spacecraft's propulsion system.
That's a huge L. That's a huge
I'd put
L.
it in D tier. Yeah, D tier's for the fucking losers. I'd put this there.
Why does this one look like a game renderer? Because that's all it deserves.
To be fair, a lot of the time when you see an artist, like a quote unquote artist depiction of a space probe, the space probe is a 3D model. So
Yeah, true. No, I'm just insulting this one more just because it died. And there's been plenty of like, I think there's at least like I can count at least on one hand of a couple missions that have technically lost like communications with like either a probe or a satellite, and then like established communications like kind of magically like within like after a couple days. Like that has existed. And it's kind of weird that this Mars observer just like admittedly shit the bed. So
yeah, this one was dead. I suggest we put it in D tier.
agreed. To the bottom with you.
Dead space probe in the D tier. Okay, we got another Mars one.
We're getting through all the
this
Mars
one.
ones.
Oh man, I feel bad. This was also one of mine, but that
You're
means
good,
that
you're
eventually
good.
we'll have a bunch of yours in a row as well.
Yeah, no worries at
Okay,
all.
so Mars, Pathfinder, and Sojourner. Do you know how to pronounce that word?
Oh god, pronouncing things, that's like my favorite thing to do. Sojourner.
I'm about to Google it.
Yeah, but do a Google. I do not know how to pronounce that.
So it sounds like Sojourner. Sojourner. It seems like.
I'm trying my best not to say
Sojourner.
soju.
Sojourner was launched. Mars, Pathfinder, and Sojourner were launched in 1996. And Sojourner was the very first successful wheeled rover to operate on another planet. The mission also proved the viability of a radically innovative and cost-effective airbag landing system. Is that the landing system I'm thinking of? Is that the marshmallow one? The like.
I think that's what I was gonna say. Wait, pull it up.
Yes, it's the way that we used to land space probes, where we just said marshmallow them and they'll bounce around and hopefully be fine. Which is such a funny way to do things.
They were like, guys, hear me out. Schmello.
Yeah, and I have no idea how they made sure that they then were upright. I have no idea. Because they bounce around.
They do be bouncy. Did this one have wheels on it?
Yes. So here's
okay, this one did have wheels. Okay, gotcha. Maybe that's why. Maybe it just like you like roll, pitch, yaw, and it was able to move itself. It feels like that
It's
picture
so
has like the clickbait like circle, red circle.
It's so little. I feel like I remember learning how big Sojourner is.
It do be kind of tiny.
I feel like it's like puppy sized. Yeah, that's like puppy size.
It's like a cute little dog.
It's so little. Okay.
It's very bonita.
It is cute. It is cute. I'll give it that.
Very
okay,
bonita.
so where do we think we should put this one?
Oh no, I'm trying my best not to give it too many points for cuteness. Let's see here. How many is the Schmello pro or con for you? The fact that it does the
marshmallow? I think it's a con.
How many missions have done like the marshmallow strat? 'Cause I know this one did. I know for a fact that there's at least a couple other ones that just said, "Screw it, let's just marshmallow it." But
I believe it was the go-to strategy for Mars missions all the way until Curiosity.
Yeah, and I'll get into
I think
Curiosity at some point here. So at some point.
But I have no idea what the Russians did to soft touchdown on Venus.
Yeah. I don't know where I would put this one. It gets points for cuteness, but as far as like, again, I feel like we have cooler Mars missions. I feel like we have other cooler stuff. So this one's also up to you. Just don't immediately put it in D tier.
Yeah, I could put it in C tier.
Okay.
Somebody in my chat says they didn't soft touchdown on Venus. Okay, I might have the definition of soft touchdown wrong. I mean, the Russians touched down on Venus and the probes survived it. But I don't know how they did that.
It hard touched it.
I'll touch your hard. How do we feel about C tier for this one?
I'm okay with that. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Give some. It saved
Okay.
itself from D tier just because of the cuteness.
It did save itself from D tier. Oh my god, there's another Mars one. Oh my god, there's so many Mars ones.
Do you want to? You can skip this one. You can skip this one and do something else if we're getting sick with Mars.
No, because there's gonna be a ton of Mars ones no matter what.
All right, we can. Don't worry, Kim. We can push through all the missions.
Okay, Mars Polar Lander and Deep Space 2. Launched in 1999 and intended to study the climate and water history at the Martian South Pole. But the lander crashed during descent due to a premature engine shutdown. The Deep Space 2 penetrator probes, designed to smash into the ground and sample the surface, also failed upon impact.
Bro should have schmellowed. Bro should have done the marshmallow strat.
Bro should have schmellowed. That was awesome. Kim might have a point that Mars gets too many missions. Oh my god, thank you. I do have a point that Mars gets too many missions. I think we should put this one in D tier.
Yeah.
For being a failure.
Yeah, being a failure.
Yeah. All right. Next up is the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. This is one of yours.
Yes, it is. So let's see here. So this guy is actually a pretty powerful orbiter actually. So it launched in 2005 to study the Mars surface, atmosphere, climate, very similar. And it also was supposed to act as a communications relay to surface missions and stuff like that. That was the game plan. So the cool thing is that its high-rise camera has produced incredibly detailed images of Mars, helping identify water-formed landscapes, ice deposits, landing sites, and geological features, which is pretty cool. So MRO has also helped scientists study modern changes on Mars, including avalanches and seasonal activity, which is also kind of cool. Either way, I think this is definitely cooler than the other Mars missions that we have definitely went over, just because this one actually survived. And I think this one also gives itself a little bit more coolness factor to it, not just because of the high-res camera, which I think are pretty cool, but also because it's supposed it acting as a communications relay for like surface missions and stuff like that. So that way these missions don't space probes and stuff don't launch itself into the Mars surface and crash and die and be all pathetic and be a loser like the last one we just talked about. Either way, this one's pretty loser. Cool. Definitely makes it easier.
I respect that. Can you find when it launched? And in the meantime, I also found at a cursory glance that one thing that this one has done consistently is captured, like in its images, resolved probes on the Martian surface.
Yeah.
Which is admittedly kind of cool.
That is pretty cool.
I still think it's a waste of money, but
yeah, I said 2005 earlier. So it was launched in 2005, and then it was operational in 2006. So hopefully that answers
yeah, and I think
question.
it's still operational.
Looking at everything, yes. So and then looking at, I think it's high-rise camera and everything still works and everything. So it still looks like it's kicking. So that's pretty cool. So and it's still doing pretty good. So
okay. This is probably my favorite of the Mars missions we've covered so far, but I still think it is a waste of money and shouldn't exist.
Agreed. I do think that this one's better than the other ones that we talked about, just because this one actually not only helps with other missions, but also has a bunch of like really cool instruments on it that also make it really cool on its own. So very cool, and it's still around, so that's awesome.
Where would you put this one?
I would say, I would say either low A or high B tier. I would be okay with that, because we put the Mars Global Surveyor in B tier, but I think that the MRO is definitely a bit cooler than the Mars Global Surveyor, so I would say high B.
How about high B? How about cooler than Helios 1 and 2 as well?
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, we're making good progress.
Yeah, let's go.
One of my viewers clarified that Venera, those are the Soviet Venus landers, used
Uh-huh.
their shapes and the Venetian thick atmosphere to slow down most of the way, and then they had short parachute times, and then they slammed into the ground at high speeds and just relied on surviving that.
Bro said, let me at him. Let me at it. I got this.
All right, Maven was one of yours.
Maven is one of mine. Let's
There's
see here.
so many fucking Mars missions, bro.
Kim's like, I hate all these freaking Mars missions.
Yeah.
So this one is kind of quote-unquote recent. So this orbiter launched in 2013 to study how Mars's upper atmosphere interacts with the sun and solar wind. So also looking at the sun and solar stuff. Also pretty cool. So Maven showed us that Mars has been losing atmospheric gas in space, like, over time, which helps explain how Mars transformed from a potentially warmer, wetter world into the cold, thin atmosphere planet that we see today. So it kind of answered how we got from this planet had water and atmosphere, and now it's all gone now. So that Maven kind of answered that question of, like, what happened with everything. So I thought that was pretty cool. I think MRO is cooler than Maven, but that is just my opinion. Oh, Kim, I think you got muted. Uh-oh. Kim?
Oh, sorry, I'm here. I
Oh,
muted
okay,
to
there
drink
you
my
are.
water and forgot to unmute.
You're good.
All that says to me, personally, all that says to me is that we spent a fuck ton of money to send something to Mars for it to look at the atmosphere and go, not a lot going on there.
Yeah,
Like, I could
I
have
would say
told you
so.
that.
I'm kind
Yeah.
of surprised that none of the other probes we just yapped about did not discover, like, the whole, like, why. Because Maven itself, right, that was just, like, talking about where all of the atmosphere and water go. I feel like any of these other ones could have easily done that. I mean, MRO probably could have done that, as it has high cameras and everything, but it doesn't have, like, solar stuff attached to it. Because I feel like if those cameras were to stare at the sun, it would probably burn them out. But even then, like,
Hmm.
I don't know. I kind of agree with you. I feel like this, another, for a whole, like, multi-billion-dollar probe or orbiter or whatever, only to discover one thing. Agreed. So
I mean, it probably discovered more than that, but it doesn't sound very eventful. I would love to put it in D tier. What do you think?
well, who am I to stop you from doing your passion, which is
Not me, when
putting
it gets
Mars
together,
missions
you
in the
have
D
me, you think
tier?
it should go higher.
Well, I can't convince you otherwise. So again, there's
No,
plenty of Mars
you
missions to go
can.
anyway, so I'm okay with this.
You think so? Are you sure?
Do we have any more Mars missions? I think we have a
Oh
couple
my
more.
god, we have so many more Mars missions.
I was
We
about to
have
say,
done like one of the rovers. We still have Perseverance, Spirit and Opportunity, Phoenix was a Mars mission, Curiosity. Yeah.
Kim is hating her life right now, chat. I love this.
Oh my god. Are we okay with this in D tier for real?
Yeah,
Because
go.
we can put it higher if you want.
No, it's okay. I'm sure we'll, again, this tier list, like, we can move stuff around as well if we find stuff that's
Okay.
quote unquote terribler than other stuff. So
That is true. Like, hypothetically, if we finished the tier list and it looked like this, I'd be like, okay, we gotta move some stuff around. This is super imbalanced.
yeah,
Not that a tier
move
list
stuff
has
around.
to be balanced, but like, triple S tier is pointless if there's nothing in it. I
Yeah.
did, like, oftentimes I do tier lists that are just S, A, B, C, D. I added triple S for this because we're ranking so many things.
Yeah, don't worry. There's something that I feel like it will be triple S tier. We'll get there. Don't worry.
Okay, good news. The next one is not Mars. Oh my god, I'm
Not
so happy about
Mars!
it.
Let's see. You said,
Okay, so
is this one yours or mine?
this one's mine.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
So the Near Earth Asteroid Scout. It was launched in 2022, and it was actually, this one is also a CubeSat. It was an experimental CubeSat deployed during the Artemis 1 mission, designed to travel to a near-Earth asteroid using a massive solar sail. But NASA was actually never able to establish communications with it after it was deployed from the rocket.
Wait, what? Why?
I don't know.
What?
I'll try to find out. Near Earth asteroid
Bro,
scout. Is this
they sent it
NASA
up to
only? Yes. So this is only NASA missions that have gone beyond the Earth Moon system because there are just too many space missions. We can't do all of them.
Bro, they sent it up into space, and then they're like, guys, have we tried actually talking to it? And then everyone just collectively looked at each other in the room, like, we were supposed to talk to it? What do you mean we're supposed to talk to it?
It ghosted us. Bro, fucking ghosted us. All right, communications. Yeah, so as of a couple weeks to a month after launch, when we were like, hey, nobody's heard from it by then, it was declared a failure. It was considered lost. Deployment of its solar sail failed and contact could not be established.
Bro. You know, for our first mission that's not Mars specific, this one is looking pretty D tierish. It looks like it's gonna fall in with its Mars brethren.
Yeah, D tier, just like Mars. If you can't talk to it, then it's hard to figure out what went wrong with no data. Yeah. I was mildly surprised that for, oh my god, which one was it? We've done so many. Was it? Oh, I think it was the Mars Observer. That they had an idea of what might have happened that caused the communication loss.
Yeah, generally speaking, like, sometimes it's like they just literally can't freaking establish like connection with it. Sometimes it'll be like a tank like literally leaks out of the thing, and then it automatically like bam, now it's the whole like system is corrupted and corroded, so we can't do anything. So there is like we can definitely like guesstimate of what went wrong with some of these guys, but a lot of these can be like, oh, we sent it up into space, and that's about it.
And sometimes, unfortunately, I hate to fucking say it, but this is what happens. Sometimes we notice something while it's still being built on the ground and go, huh, is that going to be a problem? Look at it and go,
nah.
Surely not. And then the mission fails and we're like, oh, fuck, I wonder why.
Yeah. This is why I mentioned that, like, calculations and all of this stuff is critical for these kinds of missions. If you're even slightly off with, like, the math, or, like, you don't screw a bolt in or something correctly in the freaking thing, like, stuff can be catastrophic. Something even as minor as those two things could lead to absolute disaster. So, very, very critical with these missions.
All right. Next up is, I had never heard of this one, and the name, I was like, what the hell is that? This is one of yours, Near Shoemaker.
I do like the name. I would have to Google what, if it was named after a dude, and that's why it's named the Shoemaker. I'll Google it.
It was named after a dude, yeah.
Yeah. That would be my best guess.
Earth asteroid Shoemaker.
Gotcha. Either way, named after a dude. But anyway, this, what makes Shoemaker pretty cool was it was the first spacecraft specifically designed to orbit an asteroid, studying near-Earth asteroid Eros. So it revealed Eros as a heavily cratered, geologically complex body, and eventually became the first spacecraft to land on an asteroid, which is pretty cool. So I think for one of the first missions, quote unquote, to pretty much land on an asteroid, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like it took any pictures on the ground.
Did it have? Is there no pictures of the damn thing?
All I'm finding, like...
Hold up, let's see here. Near Shoemaker.
Yeah, like, it landed. But, I don't know.
Did it not have any cameras on it? So it could have took a picture? It could have took a selfie?
It had cameras. I just don't know that it used them on the ground.
Bro forgot to take a selfie.
Because, like, this is clearly taken from further up.
Yeah, that's obviously... So what? It forgot to take a selfie, but it still did its job.
It's still cool.
It's still cool.
That's still cool. I do like that.
Yeah. Ooh, can I pause
and
real
then
quick? I gotta read.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. Perfect timing. Hi, Raiders! Welcome in, everybody. Hi, hi. Quick little intro. I'm Aria Altair. I am joining with Super Kim to talk about space stuff. So if you like space stuff, then this is the stream for you. Even if you don't like space stuff, then you should absolutely stay here. So either way, we're having a lot of fun. Thank you so much for the raid, Dave. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys had a great stream. And we're talking about space probes and NASA missions and stuff like that. And we're putting them all in a tier list because that's what makes things fun, right? So definitely feel free to stay for a while. If you need to go raid and run, then absolutely no worries. Either way, thank you so much for the raid.
So, oh, what was I gonna say? Near Shoemaker. Yeah, no, first landing on an asteroid is still really, really cool.
Yeah.
I would put it like minimum B tier.
Agreed. It could have got some more points if it took a selfie to prove that it was still here. You know, that would have did the thing.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
Pixar, it didn't happen. Yeah, exactly. So that would be, I would agree with that. So.
You think B tier?
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. All right. Next up. Ooh, okay. Next up, we have New Horizons, which is admittedly a pretty fucking cool one. Was this one of yours?
It is. That one's
Hell yeah,
super
go for
freaking
it.
cool. Okay, let me find my freaking note for it. So let me ask you this: what is your favorite thing about New Horizons? What makes it this one the best? One of the most baller ones.
I mean, so in my lifetime, this is the mission that has really like felt like it's gone the furthest in my lifetime. Like technically it hasn't gone as far as the Voyager probes, but this was the mission where like when it reached its destination, that being super duper far away, I was alive and paying attention to it. So that has me interested in it. And then I think that it's so like, okay, it pisses me off when people call Pluto a planet. But I do think that like I'm happy to romanticize, and I do think that it's very cute and emotional, the story of how we discovered Pluto, named it a planet, named it not a planet, sent this thing there. Nobody had seen any decent images of it before, and New Horizons gets there, and Pluto has a heart on it. And I'm a little bit emotional about that.
Look, I mean, New Horizons, like, again, first spacecraft to, like, fly past, oh my god, can't talk. First spacecraft to fly past Pluto and later explore, like, a Kuiper Belt object, which was pretty cool. That's awesome.
Kuiper?
Yeah.
The Kuiper Belt.
Yeah, thank you. Either way, it revealed Pluto to be an extremely complex world with mountains, glaciers, ice, possible like cryovolcanic features, and surprisingly active geological history, which is super cool. So lots of really good stuff. And again, to go all the way over there, insane. That's absolutely crazy. That's what makes, I feel like that's what makes like this mission like absolutely like mind-boggling. Because imagine going that far out and then we all of a sudden, bam, there's Pluto. That's so cool. Pluto gave us a heart and we demoted it.
And I also think that, like, oh, what was I gonna say? Shit, I lost my train of thought. I think this is a RTG. I think.
I think you're right too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Radioisotope thermoelectric generator.
Yes,
I see some parallels between its design and that of the Voyagers, which warms my heart.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, I know what I was gonna say. It's that, yeah, it is genuinely astounding how diverse Pluto's terrain is. Like, when we look at solid object, like terrestrial bodies in the outer solar system, they're usually not, like their surfaces are usually not that diverse and not that exciting. It's a lot of battered icy rocks. And Pluto like in some areas it looks like more than a battered icy rock. It's really diverse. It's really cool, super unexpected. I would put New Horizons in, I would probably put it in triple S tier.
I was about to say, is this gonna be our first triple S?
Ooh, should we do it?
We totally should. Golden buzzer, let's
New
go.
Horizons triple S tier. All right,
Yeah.
we've done it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Peak.
Like I said, it pisses me off when people call Pluto a planet, but I'm not a Pluto hater. I am a hater of the people that call Pluto a planet.
Yeah, I feel
That's
like
different from hating Pluto.
Yeah. The other day I was playing Hollow Knight, and I had during like that stream I had to kind of like semi-explain why Pluto was demoted, and with that like whole discussion and stuff like that, I feel like it definitely brings up the question of like, oh, this is whenever we discover new stuff in space, we're literally like we're kind of like rewriting history as we go, admittedly, and like definitions and stuff like that gets changed or altered and stuff like that, because if we said that Pluto was a planet and just stuck with that and rolled with it, then we would have so many freaking planets at that point. That
yeah,
would
we'd
be
have like
considered
14 or something.
Yeah, it would be a lot. So,
Yeah.
what category does Pluto fall into now if it's not a planet? It's dwarf, technically. I mean, that dwarf planet is
it's a dwarf
technical
planet.
term. So, that's a technical term. So,
yeah, it's a dwarf planet. Yeah, and like just like we said, you don't need to have wheels to be cool. You don't need to be a planet to be cool. Okay, next up is Osiris Rex. Was this one of yours or mine?
I think this one's
yours.
mine. That's a baller name, so I'm giving it points for naming conventions. Either way, Osiris is pretty cool in the fact that this is a sample return mission that traveled to near-Earth asteroid and then collected material from the surface and returned it to Earth. So whenever you do a sample return mission, like that's really hard to go to something, grab a sample, and then chuck it back to Earth. That's really hard as far as like the planning and stuff like that is concerned. So kudos to Osiris for doing that. Either way, the returned samples contained ancient material, carbon-bearing compounds, and evidence of water-related alteration, which basically gave us a really pristine look at materials from like early solar system time. So that's pretty cool. So it admittedly like revealed like a completely different level of science compared to like a lot of like these remote sensing missions and stuff like that, just because we were able to get samples from it. So that's pretty cool. So
yeah, sample return missions are amazing.
Yeah, huge, absolutely huge.
Is there a GIF of its touchdown? Oh yeah. Is it a GIF?
Hold up, I need to move. I'm covering it with my head. Yeah.
I remember when this touchdown. Yeah, sample return missions are so cool.
Yeah, they are so freaking cool.
Play the video.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah! Look at this!
One thing that I think is hilarious about asteroids is that I think if you were to colorize the footage, it would look literally no different.
I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. So, look at that high definition. Look at that. You might as well see every speck. Yeah.
Damn, I love it.
That's so cool. See, this one bothered to take a selfie whenever it touched down. This one's so cool.
Okay, now it's a replay. Yeah, super cool. I would put this in and like sample returns are also so cool because then you have, you know, like not to say that we don't for the others, but in a much more literal and physical sense, you have something to show for it.
Agreed. Physically, literally. Yeah. Agreed. That's
and
insane.
Oftentimes with sample return missions, not 100% of the sample goes to a lab. Oftentimes there's a small portion of it that goes to like museums.
Yeah, which I love museums, so I'm okay with this.
I would put this in A tier.
Yeah, I agreed. Like really high A tier. It's really cool.
Okay, let's put it above Magellan then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like that one. Oh
that
my god.
Cool.
Okay, we like that one, but I love this one.
This one's cool
my
too.
God, Parker Solar Probe, my beloved.
My beloved.
Was this yours?
Oh, well, even if it was mine,
this
I would
one
ask
mine.
you to talk about it. Yes, talk about it. Let's go. Peak.
Okay, so Parker Solar Probe launched in 2018, and its science director for a long time was oh my god, how am I blanking on his name? Ed Stone, Dr. Ed Stone, who was also the project scientist on the Voyager missions. And Parker Solar Probe is the closest we've ever gotten to the sun and is also the fastest moving man-made object. It has flown through the sun's corona, which is its atmosphere, and is also really, really hot. And what is amazing is that the Parker Solar Probe has made some huge milestones in basically solving what is called the coronal heating problem, which is that I did a whole article on this. The coronal heating problem, oh, come on, give me a graph. It's that when you go from the photosphere, which is basically the sun's surface, we call it the photosphere photo because we can see it.
Yep.
When you go from there to the corona, which is the layer immediately above it, despite going up only a few thousand meters in the solar atmosphere, the temperature goes up from a few thousand degrees to 1,000,000 degrees Kelvin. Yeah. And for a long time, we had no idea why. But Parker Solar Probe has really helped us piece together why. It detected ion cyclotron radiation in the corona, which explains part of this puzzle. And the other part of the puzzle is this thing called Alfvén waves that I could also spend 3 hours talking about, but will spare you from. But yeah, has touched the sun, has done big things, fastest moving man-made object.
Triple S tier. And do I need to say anything more?
Let's go triple S tier for Parker Solar Probe.
Yes, my beloved. Agreed.
Hell yeah.
Freaking baller.
Love Parker Solar Probe. Okay, we're back to Mars.
And now you're gonna be hating life again.
Yippee.
Don't worry.
All right, perseverance and ingenuity.
This one's mine, I believe. Yeah. Let's see here. So I'm pretty sure this one is 2020 with perseverance and oh god, I can't. How do I say this word again? Ingenuity.
Ingenuity.
Yeah. Words are hard. Either way, perseverance searches for signs of ancient microbial life in the Jezero crater, which collecting and caching like rock samples and stuff like that. So while Ingenuity was included to like test powered flight on like another planet, like at least from my brief understanding of it. Either way, what makes this really cool is that Perseverance has studied an ancient river, delta, and lake environment, collected scientifically valuable samples and stuff like that, and found evidence of a complex geological history, which is really cool. So this guy was definitely hanging out in the Jezero crater and finding out a lot of really cool samples and stuff like that as well. And Ingenuity, as well, achieved the first powered controlled flight on another planet, far exceeding its original technology demonstration goal. So that's also pretty cool as well. So, again, okay. I feel like we have plenty of other Mars missions to go through, but definitely neat. I always just associate this one with just the Jezero crater, the Jezero crater one. Someone copyright that.
My thoughts on Perseverance and Ingenuity, I think that Perseverance itself is boring, but I like Ingenuity because it is the first controlled powered flight on another planet. We flew a little drone on another planet, and we had never done that before. Ingenuity also was effectively something of a trial run for drone on other planet in that, sorry, in that effectively something of a test flight for a drone on another planet, which is important for the Dragonfly mission to Titan that is currently being developed, and that's going to be way cooler than a Mars mission could ever fucking hope to be.
Yes,
so
Dragonfly.
Props for that. Personally, though, I think that between Perseverance and Curiosity, and maybe also including Insight and Spirit and Opportunity even, between 2 to 5 of those, only one of them should have actually existed.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like let's see, with all these like Mars missions I'm talking about, a lot of them were like talking about the geological like stuff with Mars and stuff like that. I feel like that a lot of these like missions could have done like a all-in-one inclusive kind of situation going on, where they could have done like one or a couple of these Mars like rovers and stuff like that could have done like these geological stuff instead of sending like 20 billion of them over. So, But either way,
Mhm.
understand why they're doing so many. I mean, it seems like a lot of them die after however long, just because whenever you're on Mars and it's super dusty over there, and they don't, it's not like they can wear a mask and like go filter out all the dust, so they're just kind of sitting there dying. So that also kind of sucks. But either way, I do agree with you. I believe Ingenuity definitely is going to be making some waves in the future, just with what you said earlier about Dragonfly. So absolutely.
Yeah. So personally, I think because of ingenuity, I would rank this one higher than curiosity, actually.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that
Really?
assessment.
Okay. So where would you put this one?
Let's see here. Um, I don't know. I would say B, just because of again, this is perseverance and ingenuity on top of it. So that does whittle it
Hmm.
down a little bit for me. But even then,
That's
like,
true.
whenever like we get all of our like dragonfly stuff, right? That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be so freaking cool to see whenever we get there, and that would depending on how successful that mission goes, which I think it will do pretty well. That'll probably be like higher up in our metaphorical tier list if we do another tier list. So
Okay. I would suggest that we put it in B tier, maybe below Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter.
yeah, agreed.
Okay. Okay, we got another Mars one. Was this one of mine? No, this is one of yours.
Yeah, I was about to say this one is Phoenix. Let's see, I should have this one. There we go. So very similar to as I was yapping earlier about a lot of these Mars missions, right? I feel like I'm gonna try my best to not repeat myself with all these. But either way, Phoenix was a stationary lander that touched down near Mars's northern polar region in 2008 and studied the soil and the search for water. So this one was specifically like, hey, give me water. And with Phoenix, it directly sampled water ice beneath the Martian surface and found that Martian soil contains, oh god, I cannot say this word for the life of me, so forgive me, percholates? Percholates? Percolates. I don't know how to pronounce that.
I don't know
Kim,
this word either.
I was about to say, Kim, feel free to double check me. Either way, the soil contains some chemically important stuff to understanding the planet's chemistry and potential habitability. Either way, that was how we figured out of like the whole like water situation on Mars. And so, either way, it literally dug into Mars and touched like ice water. So, I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was kind of cool. But either way, I feel like we're back into the same criticism that me and Kim are yapping about earlier, which is like a lot of these missions are like very similar and like we've been doing so many. The way you
Yeah,
pronounce
yeah.
percholates sounded right. Oh god, now I'm gonna
Oh,
mispronounce it right.
percolates? Oh,
How do you
percolates.
percolates? Something
Yeah,
so
seeing it
something
written,
close.
I think it's percolates.
Yeah, I
Um,
tried.
okay, the water is a cool part, but yeah, I think that,
You
Mars.
know.
I- it sounds a lot like Insight.
Yeah, very similar. Very similar.
Hmm.
This one just
Um,
sets itself apart with the whole like water stuff.
yeah,
While
I'll give
Insight
it
was
that water is
more,
pretty cool, so I would like to
yeah,
put it above Insight.
yeah, because water, trying to find life on Mars, yeah. Insight just did like more of the earthquake stuff, so
Hmm.
or in this case, Mars
Um,
quakes.
where would you think to put it?
Uh, hmm. Would you say high D, or like low C, something in that sort of category? Because water
Yeah,
is still cool.
I think putting it on a similar level as Pathfinder and Sojourner sounds good to me.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, cool. Oh my gosh, we've gone through enough of these that I can almost see the names of some of my tabs.
How many
Okay,
tabs do you have open?
well, as many as we had probes, so like more than 50.
Oh my lord, your PC is on fire right now.
Okay, next up, ooh, is this one of mine? I think this might have been one of mine. No, this is one of yours.
It's
Pioneer 5.
yeah.
I think this might be the oldest probe on the list, but
Yeah,
you
let's
let
see
us know what year it's from.
Let's see here. There's Pioneer 6. That's 7. Nobody in my chat do the hand motion. Let's see here. Where's Pioneer 5? Where? If I can find it in my list. Any day now. Pioneer 5.
It's so round. Normally they don't
It
look
be
like
round.
this.
It do
It's
be
so
round.
funny looking.
It do
Despite
be
being so old, it looks so sci-fi.
they wanted to lean into the sci-fi. Oh my god, where's my notes for it? I think I have Pioneer 6 and 7 notes, but I don't have Pioneer 5 because I can't find it. Oh wait, never mind. I found it. I'm a liar. I found it.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay, cool.
Pioneer 5, as you said, Kim, very old. So, originally intended to travel towards Venus, Pioneer 5 instead entered a heliocentric orbit to study interplanetary space. So, it kind of like said, screw you guys, I'm going to do my own thing. So, it provided the first map of the interplanetary magnetic field and confirmed theories about the weak magnetic environment between the planets. So, we kind of just discovered a little bit more about like how like space between planets worked, which I think is kind of interesting. Also very old, and like what Kim said, very round, very rotund, kind of silly looking, honestly.
I think it launched in 1960.
Yes, that's what I have in my. I think that's what I have in my notes. Let's see. Let me double check.
And this is the lowest number Pioneer on our list, so I would imagine that Pioneers 1 through 4 probably just didn't leave the Earth-Moon system, would be my guess.
Yeah, let's do a Google. Oh, Pioneer 5 launched in 1960, and it launched from Cape Canaveral in Florida. So let's look at what.
And Pioneer
what
4 was a lunar mission, so
yeah.
I think that answers that.
Yeah, agreed. So that explains why they're not on this list.
Okay. I mean, it's cute, but like, you know, it's kind of cute in the way that like a child does a handstand and you have to be like, whoa, that was so cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad saying that, but like,
I mean, it's old. It's definitely old.
It is old. I wowould put it in. Ooh, I'd feel bad putting it in D tier.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get. Look, it has to be up higher than all these landers that like crash landed in Mars or like we lost contact with. So
yeah.
So higher than those guys because this one actually freaking launched, but low enough where it's like not like nothing too crazy. So
I do think it's less exciting than everything in C tier.
Yeah, agreed. Very round.
Do you think we should put it at the end of C tier or at the top of D tier?
I would say top of D, just because I feel like we would have figured out the whole like math orbital mechanics situation going on with planets. Like, if not in the 1960s, then we probably would have figured it out like not long afterwards. Because a lot of like the orbital mechanics and stuff like that, we figure out at some point not too long after as well. At least if we understand a little bit more of like how orbital mechanics actually work in space and stuff like that. So that would be my answer to that.
Okay, yeah, let's put it in high D tier then.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, we got more of the Pioneers. Looks like we have a lot of Pioneers. Okay, so next up is Pioneer 6, which is one of yours.
Yeah, I think I found it on my... I was scrolling on my notes. Here we go. So, Pioneer 6. So, this was one of the first series of spacecraft designed to study the solar wind in interplanetary space from different positions around the sun. So that's kind of cool. So, again, one of the first ones to really figure out the whole, like, solar stuff going on at the time. So, Pioneer 6 collected long-term data about the solar wind, cosmic rays, and the interplanetary magnetic field. It's nothing flashy, admittedly, but I feel like it's definitely cool and important enough for establishing the field of like space weather, especially at this point in time, because Pioneer is also very, very old. But even then, like, still establish what we're trying to do with like solar wind and space weather and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I like the solar wind. I think measuring that is cool. Did you say what year it launched in?
let's see. I thought I did, but I could be wrong. Let me see here. It looks like Pioneers 6, 7, 8, and 9 were all like they looks like all of them launched in the late 1960s. That's where all
Okay.
of them launched.
Okay. I would put this. I'd probably also put it in like. I'd maybe put it in high C tier.
Yeah, I would be okay with that. High C.
Okay, let's put it. Can we do above IMAP?
Yeah, I think
IMAP's
so.
been sitting in the same place for a long time.
Yeah, we had to do some moving.
Yeah. All right. Okay. The next Pioneer, Pioneer
Oh.
7.
Yeah.
Which I think you have Pioneer 7, and then I have 8 and 9.
Yeah, so very similar to what I said earlier with Pioneer 6. So again, solar winds, stuff like that. So the one of the notable things that made 7 more distinct than 6 is that 7 has made a close observation of Halley's Comet in 1986, becoming the closest US spacecraft to the comet at the time, which is actually kind of cool. So if you care about like comets and stuff like that, that's pretty neat. So again, more solar stuff. I think it is like slightly better than 6 just because it also saw Halley's Comet. So definitely take your pickings on how cool that is by comparison. But 6 and 7 were released sequentially. So 7 again made itself a little bit more distinct by just having again Halley's Comet, which is kind of cool. And this was in 1986. So that's again really cool, really cool. I would put them like in similar-ish spots if I had to put him close. I would say 7 would be higher than 6 though. Would be my stipulation here.
Okay.
The repeated 6, 7 is hitting me every time like PTSD. Shush, shush, shush. Don't quote me.
I could put 7 where 6 was, but then I feel like we need to move 6 down a tiny bit.
Okay, then do IMAP above that. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, just like that. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then I have to show you. Metallic made a meme for us.
Oh no. let me see.
Oh my god. Yeah. Meet potential planet. Bro, just one more mission, bro, I promise. And we'll terraform Mars one day. And waiter, another $30 billion, please. Give me liberty, give me fire, give me another rover for people who get emotionally attached to for justified funding, or we retire. If and when there is life, but never is. 0 found evidence of life, 0 found new sources of water, 7 more missions approved as you were reading this. Allow other planets and celestial bodies to get funding and missions? No. Hoard $30 billion just to find absolutely nothing new or interesting? Yes. Metallic, this is amazing.
I love this. This is peak.
This
is triple S tier right here.
Yeah.
I love this. I love this so much.
That's amazing. Okay, Pioneer 8. Sounds like it did similar things to Pioneer 6 and to Pioneer 7. So, oh my god. Okay, so I was like Pioneer 6 and Pioneer 7. So there's a word in between them. But yeah, get this, Pioneer 8 launched in 1967. So it launched in 1967. It investigated the Earth's magnetic tail and also magnetic fields and plasma and cosmic rays. Its observations were correlated with those of Pioneer 6 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds boring and like the same as the others. I put it at like the bottom of C tier or like high D tier.
Yeah, again, Pioneer 6, 7, 8, 9, they were all like very similar. So that's why I
might even put it below Insight.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Okay. I bet next is another Pioneer mission. Oh my god.
In a slightly different font.
Okay, Pioneer 9 launched in 1968. and it formed a space weather network with the other Pioneer probes to monitor solar storms before they hit Earth. It successfully provided early data on solar wind and solar cosmic rays for 15 years. That's a long time, and it being
That
a
is.
comprehensive network is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Being able to establish, like, essentially a mini constellation in order to basically warn Earth of, like, before solar stuff happens, like, that's definitely very useful. I feel like lots of people don't really know the impact of, like, space weather, and that's kind of nuts because if we have, like, a really bad, like, solar storm and stuff like that, then it could definitely, like, mess up, like, power grids and stuff like that on Earth.
Yeah.
So, definitely important to know what's going on in space. Mm-hmm.
But also at the same time, I'm sick of hearing about Pioneer 6, 7, 8, and 9, so I kind of want to still put it in D tier.
You want to put it in D tier and move on?
Yeah, can we put it... What do you think about, like, between Insight and Pioneer 8?
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Wait, Tinker. So my friend Tinker, who also streams, is he's a planetary scientist who got his PhD recently. And
Oh,
he pulls
sick.
up in my chat and he goes, "So much Mars slander in this tier list." Hi, Tinker. Bro, I've been
Hi.
pissed off about Mars all stream, and we haven't even gotten to the Viking missions yet. And I can't wait to rant about those.
Yeah,
I genuinely can't wait to rant about the Viking missions.
There's gonna be so much cooking that's gonna go on right now and coming up, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be deserved in a sense. Yeah. An interactive demonstration to show chat just how many fucking missions Mars gets.
Yeah, a lot.
Okay, so we just ranked Pioneer 9. Next up, okay, but these two are more exciting, are Pioneers 10 and 11. But these two are, like, actually more exciting.
Yeah.
So, Pioneer 10 launched in 1972, and Pioneer 11 launched in 1973, but they were twins, and they were the first spacecraft to successfully traverse the asteroid belt and visit Jupiter. And Saturn, Pioneer 11 also visited Saturn. So both probes carry identical gold anodized aluminum plaques featuring a pictorial message intended for extraterrestrial life.
Oh,
These
yeah,
were
I know
like
what
the
these look
precursors
like.
to Voyager 1 and 2.
Oh yes, can you pull these up? I remember what these look like. These are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These plaques, yeah.
Here, I'm gonna move my head because I'm again blocking your Google. Yeah! Peak!
Yeah, so on the right you have, these are what humans look like. On the left you have a pulsar map that shows where our solar system is. That's looks like Pioneer's route. And I learned what this is up top, but I don't remember.
Oh, I do. I think I do. I'm pretty sure it's the chemical, like, compound for, like, hydrogen or oxygen or hydrogen. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'll have to Google it, but I'm
Hydrogen.
pretty sure
I think
it's
it's
a chemical...
something hydrogen related.
Hydrogen? Yeah, thank you. Pretty sure it's the chemical compound for hydrogen.
Damn, this is an explanation, but that's a lot to read. So
No,
you're
that's-
lost in space. How to read the Pioneer plaque? Oh, that's funny.
Man, how do I read this? The aliens looking at this, however long from now, and they just pull up like a WikiHow of how to read that.
Oh my god. Okay, so I think that's cool. First probes to successfully go past the asteroid belt is amazing. I would put that in... I think I would be happy with, like, firmly an A tier.
Yeah, and there's some alien stuff in there for flavor. Give the alien something to read. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Alien stuff does have a lot of flavor. All right. I gotta be honest, I'm glad that our tier list is looking the way it is, because I was worried I was worried that we'd do this and be like, oh my god, but space is so amazing, everything's gonna be so high up. But we haven't had that problem.
No, I think we're thinking very critically on all these guys, because I feel like with all of these,
we could do it better.
Like, yeah. We could do better. We could be better.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. I love this one, actually. When I was researching this one today, I was like, NASA, pull this shit again and my life is yours. Oh my god. Okay, so the Pioneer Venus multiprobe. There was actually another one that went alongside it, but they did very different things. So the Pioneer Venus multiprobe was launched in 1978, and it consisted of the main spacecraft, one large probe, and 3 smaller probes that were all designed to collect data as they descended through the Venetian atmosphere, but they were not intended to survive the entire trip to the surface. However, 2 probes survived the hard impact, and one of them transmitted data from the Venetian surface for 67.5 minutes, which is the only NASA mission to date to transmit data from the Venetian surface.
Whoa, that's baller.
Right? That's really cool.
Bro said, hold my beer. I'm gonna go make history right now. That's really cool.
Yeah, and I believe this is the one where we revisited its data, like some people revisited its data to try to figure out more about the whole Venetian phosphine claim.
Mm-hmm.
Laughs in Soviet Venus supremacy. No, Tinker, you're so real for that. The Soviets knew ball with their space missions. They really did.
Bro, they kind of kicked ass, and they kind of did some ass kicking.
Okay, so I think this one is really, really cool. I would put it in like
cool.
S tier.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Where in S tier do you think?
Ooh. I still really like Juno. Lucy's pretty cool. Let's see. Honestly, I would say Juno, then Pioneer, and then Lucy, or
Okay.
Lucy, then Pioneer. Up to you.
Yeah, we can do Juno, Pioneer, Lucy. That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Hell yeah. Okay, next up is this one's kind of sister. I don't know if they launched together, but they launched in the same year, but they did different things. So the Pioneer Venus orbiter launched in 1978. It radar mapped the Venetian surface and determined the composition of Venus clouds and found that Venus has, like Aria said earlier, little to no magnetic field. The mission was planned for 8 months, but it lasted 14 years.
Yeah.
And I love it when they do that.
I also love it when they do that. Bro said, I'm gonna outlive my expected time, and said, come at me, bro.
Yeah. I don't think this one is as cool as the multi-probe, though.
Yeah, agreed. It's not as cool as the multi-probe, but definitely really cool that it was like, nah, I'm just gonna live longer, fight me. That's really cool.
Yeah. How do you feel about putting it in like low A tier?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Wow. You're so easygoing. What if we put
My
all the
bad.
Mars ones in D tier?
My bad. My bad for you and I having very similar opinions.
No, it's good. As long as you're not like holding your opinions back. I don't want to dominate the tier list.
Bro, if I keep all of my opinions, I already say all my opinions. Like, whenever you put your placements, like, everything is very close. Either extremely close or pretty much where I would put things anyway. So believe me, you're good.
Cool. Cool. And then after the collab, we can share a link to the tier maker so that if any viewers want to, they can make their own tier list of these. Now that you've learned all about them from us.
Yeah, just in case if you disagree with our tier list, and with our tier list, you can make your own.
Okay, this one, this is a mistake. We originally put this one on the list, but then we realized, wait a minute, we are not ranking things that haven't reached their intended destination, so we're not doing Psyche, actually.
Yeah.
So then the actual next one is SDO, which is the Solar Dynamics Observatory. This one was one of mine. This is launched in 2010, and SDO captures ultra-high definition images of the sun in 13 different wavelengths every few seconds. Ooh. Its continuous observation has fundamentally improved our ability to trace the origins of solar flares and coronal mass ejections.
Pretty cool. That's very cool. I'm trying to think. That is
cool. Multi-wavelength astronomy is pretty nice.
That is very nice. I'm trying to remember what if you remind me, what's the difference between SDO and the other one? There's another SOHO, Soho. Those two are very. I thought both of those were very similar because they both also do solar stuff.
Yeah. So SOHO is 1995 and is meant to study the sun, quote unquote, inside and out.
Okay.
And SDO is 2010, and yeah, ultra high definition images of the sun, 13 different wavelengths every few seconds,
Oh,
has
so
done great things for space weather.
gotcha. So SEO is more like cameras and pictures and stuff like that, while Soho was more for like the science and stuff like that of the sun and stuff like that.
I mean, they're both for science, but I think they study different parts of the sun. SDO is more space weather oriented, and
Okay.
Soho is more oriented towards the interior.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure I don't lose track of all these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of ones about the sun as well.
Yeah.
I would put SDO.
All the cameras are
I'd
cool.
put it in.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I'd put it in maybe B tier, because like that's really cool.
Yeah, I would say like either like high B or medium B tier, just because all of
Okay.
the you said like 14 different wavelengths or 14 different
13.
ones. 13.
Yeah.
That's still a lot.
But every few seconds. It does that every few seconds.
That's insane. That's really
That's
cool.
so cool. Okay, yeah, let's put it beneath Perseverance and Ingenuity.
Yeah.
Because I do think it's cooler than Helios 1 and 2.
Agreed.
All right, next up is, as you were talking about, Soho. So it's a good thing we just went over this.
Yeah.
So Soho was launched in 1995, and it was designed to study the sun, quote unquote, inside and out.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten an extended mission, so it's actually still going, and it has observed 2 solar cycles and has also found thousands of comets, which I think is kind of a surprise.
Yeah, insane.
So every 11 years, our sun's activity rises to its maximum and then lowers to its minimum and rises to its maximum again. So every 11 years is what we call a solar cycle. And currently we're coming out of the peak of a solar cycle. And Soho has witnessed 2 entire solar cycles.
Insane.
Launched in 1995, still going in 2026.
Insane. Lots of cool
Super
solar
cool.
stuff.
Good job, Soho.
Yeah.
What do we think of it?
Let's see. Honestly, I would put them in a... Ooh, I don't know if I like Soho more than SDL. I don't know. Which one do you like more?
I think I would rank Soho higher because it's just like a lot of the other sun ones we've looked at have just been like, more about space weather. And Soho is more than space weather.
Yeah, agreed. Since it's the sun. So yeah, I would say put it higher than SDO then by that case. And right in the areas that you are hovering over, so.
Oh, but I gotta pick one of them. Which do you think? Low A tier or high B tier?
I would be okay with high A. I would say like an A tier.
Yeah, I think A tier is good. Maybe, how about like here?
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Okay, cool. All right, we got another sun one now called Solar Max, which is, this is another one of mine. This is Solar Max, also
Solar
called
maxing.
the Solar Maximum mission. It was launched in 1980, and it was the first satellite dedicated to studying solar flares in detail during the peak of the solar cycle. It's also famous for being uniquely retrieved, repaired, and redeployed in orbit by Space Shuttle Challenger astronauts in 1984.
What?
That's insane.
No freaking way. That's insane.
But wait a minute, so then where does it orbit? Because these are supposed to be things beyond the Earth-Moon system.
Bro, it got worked on? That's in space? That's kind of legendary. Okay, never mind. Now I understand why.
But its orbit is geocentric, so actually it being one that we rank is a mistake.
Oh, boom. So this one doesn't count?
Yeah, I think we don't rank this one, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, goodbye, Giga Chad.
Sorry, Solar Max. That's okay. Now, you had these ones, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had Spirit and Opportunity in mind. Let's see here.
Spirit and Opportunity.
Yeah, let's see here. So these ones were also twinning. These are twin Mars exploration rovers landed in 2004 to study Martian geology and determine whether liquid water has ever existed on Mars. Also very similar to what I mentioned earlier with a lot of these other rovers. So what makes these guys a little bit more distinct than the other ones is that Spirit has found evidence of ancient volcanic activity involving water and possible ancient hot spring environments, which is also kind of nuts. Opportunity found extensive evidence that ancient Mars had once been wet, including rocks altered by water. So other cool stuff with water being on Mars. So also very cool. It also traveled nearly 30 miles, becoming one of the most successful planetary rovers ever, just because of how much like distance covered for like traveling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What makes this one really cool is these guys were supposed to last around like 90 Mars days. Spirit said screw
Mm-hmm.
that noise and lasted over 6 years, and Opportunity nearly 15. Both of these were
Yeah.
like, yeah, screw that. I have a longer life cycle than that, and they were like, screw this. I'm just gonna live longer. So definitely
Yeah.
insane. They were like, hold my beer. I'm gonna live longer, and that's what
Yeah.
I think. That's what gives it some kudos. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like I am a Mars hater, but I do have a lot of respect for Spirit and Opportunity. They did a lot of fucking work. Like I feel
Yeah.
like discovered they discovered more than Curiosity or Perseverance.
Yes.
They've lasted a really, really long time. It's possible that I was gonna say it's possible that Curiosity or Perseverance end up living longer than Opportunity did. But regardless, they've lasted a really long time. They've done some insane things. I am kind of attached to the two of them. I do like them. I do have respect for Spirit and Opportunity. They
Yeah.
found some really interesting stuff.
Yeah, I
So
feel
I
like they
would,
definitely paved the way for Curiosity and Perseverance. So, yeah, absolutely.
I feel like we could have stopped at Spirit and Opportunity.
Yeah. We could have
Okay,
stopped
where would you
there.
put them?
Honestly, like wait, right there, low A. That would be my spot for them. Cuz they definitely
Really?
pay. Yeah, yeah, just because they paved the way for the other two. And even then like I feel like them being like Giga Chads and surviving longer than they were supposed to was also pretty legendary. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I feel like honestly, I would put them like high A. I would put them maybe like here.
Okay, I'm down for that.
Why don't we compromise and we'll put them between our two rankings and like right here.
Yeah, good compromise.
Okay. All right. Next up, ah, this one.
This one.
Okay. So Stardust, this is a comet mission. Stardust was launched in 1999, and it was the first spacecraft to collect dust samples from the coma of a comet, specifically the comet Wild 2. And it successfully returned them to Earth in 2006.
Wow.
Comet sample return mission. And I hadn't even heard of this thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that
Uh,
was a thing.
Yeah, analysis of the samples revealed the presence of the amino acid glycine, which is a building block of life.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So I think that's like just as cool as Osiris Rex, if you ask me.
Agreed. Agreed. That's very cool.
Um, I feel like we should look up if it took pictures.
Yeah, we need screenshots or it didn't happen.
I'm not finding a lot.
Hmm. Not a lot of screenshots.
So I would put it below Osiris Rex.
Yeah.
Do we think here is okay?
Yeah, I think that's a satisfactory spot.
Okay. Next up, are these ones are mine, Stereo A and B. So these were launched in 2006. Two probes launched into heliocentric orbit, with one leading the Earth and the other trailing it. They were meant to study coronal mass ejections, and they provided the first 3D views of the photosphere, and they observed the most powerful solar storm to date. Stereo B is dead, but Stereo A is still active.
Did B die to the sun or
Let me find out. Stereo B's mission ended on October 17th, 2018. However, actually, Stereo B has not returned data since 2014, but it was officially decommissioned in 2018.
Gotcha. All right. Interesting. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, if they were able to survive those as well, like, damn. Or at least A did. At least A did.
I feel like it's just another looking at the space weather.
Space weather.
You know, like, I'm not as tired about that as I am about Mars, but I'm getting a little tired.
Understandable. Where would you put that then?
I would put it in B tier.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree. I feel like that would be a good spot.
Do you think anywhere in particular in B tier?
Let's see here. I would say right there, honestly, because Shoemaker is still super cool. So I would be okay with this.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, next up, Timed. This is another one of mine. This is a 2001 mission, and it is studying, wait a minute. This is a misclick. This should not be on the list. This is in Earth orbit. Forget about that one. Forget about that one. Okay, next up, Ulysses. Ulysses was launched in 1990 and was the first spacecraft to observe the sun from above and below its poles. And it discovered that solar wind speed varies dramatically depending on its latitude. I think it's cool that it had a weird orbit to have observed the sun from both above and below its poles. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts. That's really cool.
Yeah. I would suggest that we put Ulysses, I don't know.
I don't know on this
Maybe
one
with A and B? Maybe with stereo A and B?
Yeah, I would say higher than A and B, just because like it did travel to both poles, so that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Ulysses is a cool name, so B tier at least. That is a cool name.
It is a cool name. All right.
Oh my god.
Finally.
Finally.
Okay.
Chat, what we've all been waiting for.
Okay, so fun fact, guys. Actually, today is Viking 1's birthday. Today is Viking 1's 50th birthday.
Yippee!
So Viking 1 and 2 were both launched in 1975. And on this day in 1976, Viking 1 touched down on Mars. These were the first spacecraft to safely land and successfully operate on the Martian surface. They were not the first spacecraft to land on Mars, but they were the first spacecraft to do so successfully. The Soviets actually landed sooner with a probe called Mars 3, but their operations failed. So also, because it is Viking's birthday, I've seen people saying that Viking 1 took the first images from the surface of another planet, which is not true because, wait, I wrote this down. It's not true because first off, the Vikings were not the first spacecraft to successfully land on another planet, which some people say they are. They weren't. That goes to Venera 7 from the Soviets, which landed on Venus in 1970.
Yeah.
Second off, the Vikings were not the first spacecraft to take a photo from the surface of another planet, because that goes to Mars 3, the failed Soviet probe, where operations failed after it landed on Mars. That said, the picture that we got from Mars 3 is incomprehensible. Like, it's just noise. This is not a horizon. This is just noise. This is a useless and incomprehensible image. But it is technically the first image that was taken on the surface of another planet.
Yeah.
But even if you narrow it down to the first comprehensible photo of the surface, like from the surface of another planet. That still doesn't go to Viking. That goes to Venera 9, Soviet probe that landed on Venus and was launched in 1975. So what Viking actually gets is that Viking 1 was the first probe to take a comprehensible photo from the Martian surface.
Bro, this
So
guy
these were
said
the first
I'm
Mars
salty
landers
that
from NASA.
and this guy exists purely because he was salty that the Soviets did stuff before it. That's why this exists, is with the vibe that I'm getting.
But we haven't even gotten to my rant about why, like my real rant about the Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings, the
Viking
first time they
probes.
only went was to the United States. They were first to the United States, not Christopher Columbus. not in space.
The Viking probes were the first and so far the only missions to have dedicated biological experiments designed to search for signs of life.
Right.
But the nature of these experiments is very questionable in the first place. How do you run an experiment that just says, have we detected life? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And it hasn't even been tried since. But the results of the experiments on Viking 1 and 2 are still debated to this day. Most people put no stock in them, but there are some people that still try to argue that Viking found something.
So what is the real, like, kicker here, other than, like, technically, I mean, quote unquote, like, oh, it took a comprehensible picture, and even then, that's not true because of what you said earlier. So what have these guys even done?
Yeah, I don't have a lot about what they have done, just about what pisses me off about it.
Yeah, like, so far it
I
seems
was
like very controversial, is what
I was gonna argue to put
here.
these in D tier.
I mean, you made your argument very clear for that. It seems very controversial. And even then, like, how I feel like lots of people will also debate on like the whole like life question with like aliens and stuff like that, like no matter what. I feel like lots of people will have like the argument of like, if we discover like microbial like stuff on like a planet or something, like in this metaphorical scenario here, like, will people debate whether or not that's life or intelligent quote unquote life? No, probably no, because it's microbial, but still, like, whenever we eventually get to the point of like, is this life even, like, good enough to our standards, in which case I feel like every country is going to have different opinions on that. Like, that's going to be a whole new can of worms even on that alone. So yeah, very controversial.
So Vikings like life detecting experiments. It had one instrument chamber that had 3 different instruments that were meant to detect life, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
And in some way or another, most, if not all of them, were basically rooted in the idea of catch this life, feed it, and see if it emits a waste product.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Weird. Huh. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one. I think my YouTube mod, Badcap, has a great suggestion. Make a Viking tier. We just make Viking its own tier.
No. I'm not giving Viking special treatment. I refuse.
It's not special treatment. It's like the timeout corner. I feel like this is very like I don't know. This is like a very like you mentioned before, like even like the history and like the controversies and stuff like that. This is very interesting. I don't know how I feel about this one.
Like, as the first NASA rovers on Mars, I'm sure that they also did useful things, but their like life detection attempt pisses me off a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, cause like, yeah, I feel like this is an iffy one. I feel like you're judging you just saying let's just throw it in D tier is okay with me, just because I feel like the whole like debate on like the whole like life situation is like with like life detection quote unquote stuff definitely hotly debated. So I don't know how I feel about that too. So
Um, where in D tier would you put it?
mm, let's see here. It's not the worst thing in the world. At least it didn't crash and die into anything.
That's true.
So above all the ones that crashed and died. So around there-ish where
Did
you're
Mariner
hovering.
6 and 7 crash and die? I don't remember.
What did I say? Pioneer.
Oh no, I have them.
Yeah.
No, they did not crash and die. They were just boring.
Okay, yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
I feel like Viking maybe should have crashed and died. I'm gonna say it.
Bro, you need like a
I'm
t-shirt
gonna
saying
say it.
Viking 1 and 2, I hope you're dead. Frowny face. And there's
You
like
know what?
explosions
I'm gonna
going
say
on.
it. I don't care that you broke your elbow. Okay. Alright. Now that that's over with.
I love that.
Oh my
I
God.
needed that. Voyager!
Voyager 1 and 2, my beloved. These are yours.
Okay. I don't know if I'll do them justice, so feel free to absolutely
Don't worry, if you don't,
interject.
I'll add more.
Yeah, believe me. So, these guys are very cool. So, they were originally designed to explore the outer planets. The Voyagers conducted historic flybys of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So, they revealed volcanic activity of Io, really cool, and complex atmospheres and storms on the outer planets, new moons and rings, and dramatically expanded our knowledge on the outer solar system. Absolutely wild. And with both of these guys, they both later entered interstellar space, which is also pretty cool. So these guys are arguably, in my opinion, the greatest planetary exploration missions ever conducted. These guys have like so much legacy, cultural impact, and sheer freaking distance traveled. That's ridiculous. That's insane. So shout out to Voyager 1 and 2. Like, dear God, that's incredible. But Kim, feel free to interject. Give some more stuff.
No, you're right. I think you did a good job summarizing
yeah.
them. Like, Voyager 1 and 2 have done so much amazing shit that everybody wants to talk about the golden records, but you don't even need to communicate just how fucking incredible they are and how much they've done for astronomy. I feel like there are a few, like you could count them on one hand, moments in the field of astronomy where we realize just like the scale of the universe and also the depth of the universe that really like cemented in the field of astronomy. There's a lot of intricate shit out there. And I think one of those is like when we realized that there are many other galaxies besides the Milky Way. I think another one is the Voyager missions. They really had us start looking at the outer solar system much more clearly, and both of them are still communicating with us today. They turn 50 next year.
Yeah. My beloved.
I'm so emotional over the Voyager probes. Yeah, I would agree with you that there is no better space probe than the Voyager probes. Yeah. I would argue that the Voyager probes are also, like, even the things that we're not tier listing. Oh, actually, are we not tier listing JWST? I lied, we're not tier listing JWST. I don't know why. Anyway, I would argue, even compared to things that we're not tier listing, like I would argue that Voyager 1 and 2 are better than Hubble and better than JWST.
Yeah. I think I could stand behind that. I can agree with that as well. But
yeah,
oh my
like truly
God.
Nothing beats the Voyagers. They are so amazing. Although we do have some probes coming up to rank that I think get kind of close to beating the Voyagers.
That is true. That is so true.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love the Voyagers so much.
Look, they're so cool. They are so freaking cool.
Yeah. Okay. The magnum opus.
All hail.
Now on to something else, I fear. All right, Ace.
Pretty sure that one's mine.
Is it? If I search Ace in my notes, it comes up with 27 results because it finds everything that says space.
Oh my God, I have Ace. I do have Ace.
Okay, cool.
I need like a glasses hand or like glasses toggle. The advanced composition explorer. Advanced Composition Explorer.
Yeah,
studies
like
particles from the sun,
it.
interstellar space, and galactic sources from near the Sun-Earth L1 point. So this is another Lagrange point one. Yeah, look, you're doing
Pushes
the
up
actually.
glasses.
Yeah, with
According
the
to my
glasses.
notes here.
Exactly, exactly. Anyway, yeah, this guy is located Lagrange point as well. This is at L1. So ACE has provided major data on solar wind, energetic particles, and obviously space weather stuff, including information useful for understanding and forecasting geomagnetic storms. So also really cool. So very classic example of a mission that is important, but admittedly not really famous to the general public. It took me a while to actually find some info on ACE for some reason. Either way, still very important. Still doing a lot of uh solar stuff. Really cool. Or like understanding space weather and stuff like that. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's another space weather one. Where would you rank it?
Um honestly, I would say either B or C, just because there's so many other like space weather like probes and stuff like that that we have on our list that are much cooler. So,
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, I would put it in. What year did you say it launched? I'm sorry, I missed it.
let me see here. I think I forgot to mention it. Hold up. I know in my notes I put it in there somewhere. Ace launch. And I'm gonna put space after this so that way I can find the exact thing. Because I have a feeling that if I just put in Ace launch, it's gonna tell me about Ace hardware store. Let's see here.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Ace. Let's see. Looks like Ace was launched in 1997. From what this is
Oh,
saying.
that's the year I was born.
Oh, there you go. Looks like it was
Maybe
launched from
the
Kennedy
bottom
Space
of B
Center
tier?
at Cape. Yeah, I would be okay with that. That would be a good spot.
Okay. I think this is so far shaping out to be a really well-balanced tier list.
This is good. We both of us were
Yeah.
looking at each other like, man, I love space, but we both are like, we have to still hold back and still be able to still be able
Yeah.
to give some commentary and some knowledge on some space stuff. So that's good.
And also realizing that JWST isn't on this, I think we should add it at the end.
Yeah, we can add it. Go ahead.
Okay, we can add it at the end. I don't think I can actually edit it while I'm...
Oh, while you're in it?
Actually, maybe I can. We'll try it later. Anyway, we'll do that last. Okay, so next up... Oh my god, this is one of yours, right? No, this was one of mine!
I think this was yours.
This is one of mine.
All
oh my
hail.
god, I love Cassini. Cassini,
hail.
my beloved. Oh my god,
All
hear me
hail.
out. Oh my god.
Hear me out.
Okay. So Cassini, the Cassini-Huygens mission launched in 1997, the year I was born, and it was the first spacecraft to orbit Saturn. And let me double check on this, but I think it was the only one.
Bro, Saturn is
to
freaking
orbit
awesome.
Saturn.
So already, I'm a little biased, but ooh, thanks for the
it's the
hydrate,
only
Cloudy. I'm gonna
spacecraft.
hydrate real quick.
Yeah, it's the only spacecraft that has ever orbited Saturn. And it transformed our understanding of the Saturnian ring system. And attached to it was, it gets even better. It gets even better.
It gets better.
Attached to Cassini was the Huygens probe, which was deployed to land on Saturn's moon Titan, which is the second largest moon in the solar system, the only moon with a substantial atmosphere, and it also has a weather cycle of liquid methane and ethane and has lakes of liquid methane.
Yeah.
And so Huygens did successfully land down on Titan, and we now have pictures and data from Titan's surface.
So cool.
So I
cool.
love Cassini-Huygens. I would put this in S tier. No,
Agreed.
triple S.
Triple S. Triple S.
Triple
It's the only
S.
one with Saturn? Absolutely. Say less. Saturn is my favorite planet, so I am, admittedly a little biased, but absolutely.
How about right below Voyager?
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Yeah.
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 Okay, amazing. Cassini-Huygens, amazing.
Chef's kiss.
All right, next up. Next up is Contour, which I hadn't heard of, but it's not very exciting. Contour, also known as the Comet Nucleus Tour, was launched in 2002, and it was intended to fly by, study, and compare at least 2 comets. But During an engine burn prior to entering heliocentric orbit, contact was lost, probably due to overheating causing it to break apart.
Oh.
Yeah. Since it's a
Boo.
failure, should we put it in D tier?
Yes. Only failures go in D tier.
But I'm gonna put it above the Mars failures.
You hate the Mars stuff so much. Certified Mars hater right here.
Speaking of Mars,
Oh, yes, here we go.
this is yours, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Curiosity. Let's see here. Where's that on my list? Let's see. Curiosity.
The Mars hate is justified. Oh my god, thank you. I'm so glad you think so. Some people get really pissed off about how much I hate Mars, but I'm glad you understand.
Look, you're the reason why you understand the the reason why you have beef is understandable, is what I'm trying to get at here. Either way, let's see here. Curiosity, right? So this thing is, as from like looking at the picture, is kind of big. It honestly looks like the size of a freaking car. Either way,
I think
it's a
it
nuclear-powered rover that landed in the Gale crater in 2012 to determine whether or not Mars ever had environments capable of supporting microbial life. Anyway, look at that thing. I might have to move.
It is big.
It
That's
looks
like
like
the
a
size of an
freaking car.
SUV.
It looks like a freaking car. It's giving car vibes. Either
I do
way.
have some respect for Curiosity. Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Curiosity found, like, ancient lake environments, organic molecules, and evidence of long-term water stuff, very similar to all the other rovers that have discovered water going on Mars, which is pretty cool. Either way, I feel like Curiosity is pretty much the bridge between Mars used to have water and Mars had environments that could actually have supported life. Because not only does it talk about the whole, like, water situation, but it also talks about, like, whether or not, like, the environment for Mars is even capable of supporting microbial life, which is, like, the big question. So, I feel like that definitely bridges the gap a little bit. And I feel like it's been very productive in terms of, like, the rovers. And also, it's as big as a freaking car. That's insane.
Yeah, it's huge. I also appreciate the sky crane that they used to lower it. That was cool, and that was intense when they did that. It was their first time doing a soft landing on Mars with this method. Curiosity, sky crane, and they pulled it off.
Yeah, they made it work.
This is how they landed it.
Oh god, here, I need to move my head again. Yeah. Insane.
Yeah.
Looks very nerve-wracking, might I add. Looks very nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I remember I watched the landing live, and by that I mean I watched a room of people react to the landing 7 minutes after it had happened, but, you know.
Yeah. Oh, spooky, but they pulled it off, so kudos to them. If I were them, I would probably do something a little bit more safer, but I don't know. It seems like the Mars solution to launching stuff and then putting it on Mars and with it not, like, crash landing is marshmallow tactic. So, kudos to Curiosity for not
more than the marshmallow.
Yeah.
I like the sky crane more than the marshmallow, yeah.
Agreed.
All right, I have a hydrate redeem.
Go ahead. I'm gonna hydrate too while you're at it.
Yeah, so I got water on my face. Expert at drinking. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a fair amount of respect for Curiosity. I would put it higher than most of the Mars missions we've done. What about you?
Agreed. But then again, you saying let's put this not in D tier will be an absolute momentous occasion. So
I think I would put it below Spirit and Opportunity.
Ooh. Okay.
I could do either high B tier or low A tier. What do you think?
I would say low B. I would be okay with that.
Low B or high B?
Or high B. High B.
High B? Okay. Do we think it's cooler than the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter?
Ooh. I dig the Reconnaissance Orbiter, though. I feel like...
I do, too. I really do.
I think
we could put it next to Perseverance. I think that would work well.
Yeah, that would. I feel like that would work fine. Because
they're very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. We got Curiosity done. This one is yours, I believe.
Oh my god. Ugh.
Cusp.
What the fuck is that? What is this box? What am I looking at? This absolutely wretched. What is this? This gives me PC vibes. This gives me the vibes that this is a PC and it's like on my like desk. Let me see if I can find the notes for this. Okay, so cusp. So this guy is a CubeSat designed to measure solar particles and magnetic fields as a distributed space weather station, quote unquote. So since CUSP is primarily a technology and science demonstration mission, it's basically its major discoveries are still limited compared to like with completed like flagship missions. I'm pretty sure CUSP has like 10 CubeSats in total from what me and Kim were like yapping a little bit about this guy was. Either way, I'm placing it lower, just not because it's unimportant, but because it's like a smaller, like admittedly a little bit newer mission, and the biggest scientific payoff of this guy is still very much developing. So I don't really know a lot about this guy. I know there's 10 of them in total, and I'm pretty sure they helped with the Artemis 1 mission in some capacity, but that's all I got.
Mm-hmm. So they launched in 2022. Hey, wait a
Yeah.
minute. Wait, what I'm finding is
Ooh, you found something different?
So what I'm finding is that I only see a mention of one, but
Ooh.
also
Yeah, let me see if I found
contact
it.
was lost with it after an hour.
Yeah, hold up. Let me see if I can find
Pathetic.
where I found the 10 number. I know that these guys, you and I were yapping about this before, but usually they launch these. Ooh, okay. So I found NASA article. Heliophysics CubeSat to launch on NASA's SLS. That's what the whole article says. Either way, it says it is a 6-unit CubeSat, and it's like this micro satellite will carry like the 3 instruments, which is like what these guys are. So I'm trying to remember where I found the 10 number, because I think I googled it and it said 10 before, but oh god. See, this is what I mean. There's not much for this guy, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It seems like it really didn't do a lot. And also, it really does look like a PC.
Look at that.
Like the size of it.
Look at that. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Absolutely wretched. Disgusting.
Also, this guy's mask is not doing a lot.
Bro, that's not how a mask works, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe it failed because his beard hairs made it into it.
Beef.
Anyway.
Beef with cusp.
I would also rank this quite lowly, yeah. You think we should put it somewhere in D tier?
Yeah, somewhere
I mean, it failed,
in D.
so...
It didn't fail, it's just like, what the fuck is it? I don't know.
Well, we lost communications after an hour.
Pathetic.
Yeah,
that means, look, it survived an hour longer than these guys that have crash landed on Mars, so...
That's true, that's true.
Slightly higher than them, so...
You think maybe we put it, like, here?
Yeah, above all the ones that crash landed.
Alright. Okay, next up. Oh, this is an exciting one. DART.
Ooh, yeah.
DART is really exciting. So DART, launched in 2021, was the world's first full-scale planetary defense test. It was intentionally crashed into an asteroid moonlet named Dimorphos at 14,000 miles an hour, and it successfully shortened the asteroid's orbital period, proving that kinetic impact can deflect a hazardous object. Yeah, this thing managed to nudge that asteroid a lot more than we expected it to as well. DART was a huge success. We were like, hey, let's go crash into this thing, see what happens. Cool things happened.
Yeah, and this does beg the question of, like, admittedly, a little bit, this kind of, like, begs the question of, like, kinetic impacts in space. So whenever we like launch stuff in space, right? And whenever we have like the military and like future implications of launching stuff that could literally just kinetic kill some stuff, like theoretically speaking, what if we launch something into another satellite? which is a big like military and like future question of like how many things are in space that can have like kinetic interceptors and be used as a practical line of defense or as like a war thing, right? Because let's look at the military aspect, right? Military speaking, United States and like all the other countries, right? At least whenever the ones we are not friendly with, it brings up a interesting like question of whether or not if we want to like put kinetic stuff in space to you know like launch it against something else. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I think
well,
that
it's
it's very
important
interesting.
to DART was meant to be a test of our abilities to defend Earth as a planet
Yeah,
from potential impactors.
correct.
Impactors being like other natural satellites. So it's important to know how capable we are of that, so that we don't end up like dinosaurs.
Yeah, very important. So definitely cool.
Yeah.
Definitely cool.
So
So
I think Dart's really exciting. I would put it in maybe A tier.
very exciting. I would say a high A tier. Yeah. Not only
How
just for
about
like
S
I was
tier?
yapping about like military aspect, but also so that way we don't end up like dinosaurs. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah. How about like low S tier?
Yeah, I would be okay with that.
Cool. All right. We got another one.
Yeah,
Dawn. Was this one of yours?
might be. Let me
Yeah,
double
this was one of
check.
yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see if I can find it in my list. We're like, we're almost done. We're in our last couple. Let's see here.
We have 5 left.
Yeah, here we go.
Some of
All
them are
right.
really good.
Yeah. All right, Dawn. So, the first spacecraft to orbit two different extraterrestrial bodies, which is Vesta and Ceres, using ion propulsion. So that's pretty cool. And Dawn revealed that Vesta is a differentiated protoplanet with a complex geological history. At Ceres, it found bright deposits associated with salts and evidence of past or present like activity with like other stuff with that. So that's pretty cool. I think what Dawn has done, something that not a lot of other like spacecraft has ever done, which is basically orbit two different worlds, which is kind of cool. And with at the time, like its ion propulsion was also a major technological advancement at the time. So that's really cool. So definitely something interesting with Dawn. So mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and Ceres is also really cool. I think Dawn is really cool. I would love to put Dawn in at least A tier.
I'd be okay with that. Dawn's pretty cool.
Where in A tier do we think?
Let's see here. In my notes, I had like S tier originally for Dawn, but like I would agree that if we putting it in A, so I would say like high A for a compromise.
Okay, maybe like next to Stardust.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds about right. I would agree with that.
Cool. Okay, and hear me out. What do you think about moving Osiris Rex to S tier?
Okay, deal.
Nice.
No questions asked. I'm okay with that. Yeah, because Osiris is
Cool.
super friggin' cool.
It really is, yeah. Okay. Next up, we have, I think, did we each get a deep impact and this one was yours? Yeah, this is
Yes.
yours. Deep impact.
Yeah, so this one's super cool. So we deliberately fired an impactor into Comet Temporal 1 to excavate material from beneath the comet's surface. So that's kind of baller. So the impact exposed material containing water, ice, and organic compounds, giving scientists a look beneath a comet's surface for the first time, which is super nice. So it was essentially a spacecraft performing planetary science by intentionally crashing into something, which is also pretty cool. So
Hell yeah.
yeah,
I love how destructive it is for science.
for
I think that's
science,
great. Hell yeah.
explodey.
Gestures towards the DART mission. Yeah,
Yeah,
destructive for science.
very
Hell
very
yeah.
destructive for
Except you said
science.
deep impact was into, you said it was a comet, right?
Yes, so it fired directly into Comet Temporal 1.
Mm-hmm. Tempura.
Yeah.
I would put it in at least A tier.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Very cool. Very cool. Bro, science.
I don't know. Where in A tier though? I have no idea.
Maybe next to where Soho is. Maybe even higher.
How about here?
Yeah, I would be okay with
Okay.
that.
Cool. Awesome. Deep Impact, done.
Yeah.
Next up, Deep Space One. Deep Space One. This was one of yours.
Yes, it is. So this guy, right? This guy was primarily a technology demonstration mission designed to test advanced spacecraft technologies, especially ion propulsion and autonomous navigation. So, two things that that were at the time like very very crazy to do. Like whenever we yapped a little bit about like ion propulsion earlier with the one of the earlier probes, like also very crazy to do at the time, and it's kind of nuts that we did it. Very similar with Deep Space One. So not only, let's see here, it successfully tested 12 technologies that went above and beyond by flying past asteroid, let's see, asteroid number 9969 Brielle, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, and Comet Borrelli. Very cool stuff. So, this guy basically paved the way that ion propulsion could work for long duration interplanetary missions and help pave the way for missions like Dawn, which is like the ion pump, ion propulsion one we just talked about earlier. Very cool.
Nice. I like it. I would put it definitely
Picasso.
below Dawn. Yeah, Picasso.
Yeah, I agreed. Below Dawn, because I feel like Dawn's the cooler one. I feel like Deep Space One definitely paved the way for Dawn, but I think Dawn's cooler.
I would be happy to put it maybe like here. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
There. Yeah, that's
okay,
what I would agree on that one.
Oh my god, the next one! Okay, this is yours. Don't let me down.
Oh my god.
I love Galileo.
Let me see if I can cook here. Let me see.
Galileo actually genuinely might be my second or third favorite probe of the ones we're tier listing.
Yeah, like Galileo is super high up on my list as well. So let's see.
It's amazing. This art is also gorgeous. Look in the like sort of not the foreground but not the background over here, you can see Io with a volcano going off and another volcano over here. Oh my god,
that's kind of baller. Bro said this is what maxing looks like in space.
Yes.
Either way, Galileo, right? So this is NASA's first spacecraft to orbit Jupiter, launched in 1989 and arriving in Jupiter in 1995. So Galileo discovered strong evidence that Europa has a subsurface ocean, studied Jupiter's atmosphere and magnetosphere, observed volcanic activity on Io, and deployed a probe into Jupiter's atmosphere. That's freaking amazing. That's so freaking cool. And the reason why I think this guy is like at least triple S tier, at least, is because Europa's ocean alone is an absolutely enormous discovery for the search of potentially habitable environments, which is, if anyone cares about like the search for life anywhere, then that's something that you should definitely care about. Either way, Galileo, Jupiter, that's freaking baller. The GOAT. Also really cool.
I also think it should be in triple S tier. I think it should be on either side of Cassini-Huygens. I don't know which side.
I agree. Ooh. So I'm a little biased because Cassini, like, I love Saturn. Saturn's my favorite planet, so I'm going to be biased.
I can't decide, so let's go with your bias. Which side would you put it on?
Okay, let's do Cassini first and then Galileo.
Okay. Yeah, because like Cassini has Huygens, which is just so amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, Astro. Oh man, Astro, I be hating on the Mars missions. You know how it is.
Bro, you should have came here earlier. Kim was hating.
Okay, we have one more, and actually this one, I really, really like this one. First off, look at it. She's just so gorgeous, right?
Look at her. Honestly,
This is
slay.
actually yours, so I'll
This
let you
one
cover
is.
her, but she's gorgeous. You know, she kind of reminds me of like a watch. Doesn't she kind of look like clockworky?
Oh, kinda. Yeah, I could see that with all the
Yeah.
different parts. I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. So Genesis, right? So
Yeah.
Genesis, very very cool. And also, she's kind of bonita. I like her. She's really cool. And so with Genesis, it collected particles from the solar wind and returned them to Earth for laboratory analysis. Very cool. So samples provided direct information about the composition of the sun and helped scientists better understand the materials from which the solar system formed. Very cool. Help us learn a little bit about the solar system and stuff like that. Either way, again, as we mentioned before, with the sample return missions, sample return from like solar wind is extremely unique, very unique to Genesis from what I remember. And again, sample missions automatically goes really high on in my opinion. But this mission also deserves bonus points for surviving a super hard landing and still providing useful science. So this guy survived a really hard landing and still was fine. So that's really cool. So kudos.
Yeah, I love Genesis. I think it's so cool that Genesis is the only sample return mission that we're doing on this tier list that sampled something besides a rock.
Yeah, very unique.
And all of the rock samples are also super cool, but like, damn,
Yeah,
so cool.
yeah.
So I would like to put Genesis in either low S tier or high A tier.
Honestly, I would be okay with putting in an S tier, just because the solar wind
Nice.
particle stuff, that's very unique. Again, like you said,
Yeah.
it's not a rock, so therefore it's different. I would be okay with putting that in S tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
I
the
think
breaks,
that's so cool.
true. But again, I feel like Genesis is so cool just based on the fact that out of this tier list, right, that we have so far, not a rock, which is pretty cool. And
Although we
again,
ranked all of the sample returns really
yeah,
highly.
yeah, and even then, like, kudos to Genesis for surviving a hard landing and still providing useful stuff. Still very cool.
That's
That was.
everything. Do we want to move anything?
Let's see here. I'm trying to remember. I feel like the area with C and D is gonna be moved around a little bit just because we have I feel like that area is slightly imbalanced, but otherwise, like, I'm very happy with what we got of like our higher tiers. But what do you think we
Mm-hmm.
should move?
I'm happy with where pretty much I think I'm happy with where actually everything is.
Yeah.
I think if I were to move anything, maybe I would move uh let me see.
Yeah, I think there's just like something going wrong in C tier that is just like slightly off to me. I don't know why. I'm getting that gut feeling. Ooh, thanks for the hydrate redeem.
Okay.
I'll get some water.
I feel like Stardust should maybe be in S tier as well with all the other sample returns.
Okay, I can see that argument. Stardust is pretty cool.
Would you
can
be down to
in
put
S
it
tier.
at the very bottom of S tier?
Yeah, I would be okay with that.
Okay. Okay. I really like this, but let me hear what you want to change about C tier.
Yeah. So maybe the thing that's like that I am like So we whenever we did the pioneers, right? Why did we put
Mhm.
9 and 8 at the very bottom by comparison to 7 and 6?
I think it's because of the order that we did them in, actually. So I
Yeah.
would be down to, although there was, I feel like so Pioneer 8 and 9 were very similar. I think Pioneer 9's a little bit higher because it completed this network of 4 of them.
Yeah.
And it also lasted 15 years. But Can you refresh us on Pioneers 7 and 6?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure what separated 7 from 6 is 7 was able to make a close observation of Halley's comet in 1986. So that is what makes it distinct by comparison to the other ones. But I feel like that's the only big distinction that I had because again, all of this was like uh let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, they were all like a pairing
Mm-hmm.
uh of of all of them together. So that's up to you though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi
I
Mookie. Thanks
almost
so much
feel
for the
like we
follow.
should put all of them together.
Yeah.
So if we were to do that, would we put them in C tier or in D tier?
That's a good question. I feel like ooh. I'm trying to remember how long all of these pioneers lasted.
I think I'd put them in C tier.
Yeah, because if they lasted a
Because
long
having them as a
time,
whole network is really cool.
yeah, because they're their own little constellation technically. So I would pair them all up.
Yeah. Okay, so do you think we should put them all maybe like in the same spot as Pioneer 6 or maybe lower in C tier?
I would say near Pioneer 6 is okay. And if
Okay.
anything, it moves up IMAP. So I feel like the only thing I would do is put 7 as like the topmost one of all the pioneers, and 9 could
Okay.
go pretty up
Then
higher as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Do we think this is good?
Yeah. That feels better. I feel like that
Yeah, I'm happy with this.
I feel like that got rid of my initial gripe with C tier. But otherwise, this I'm happy with this. Anything else you would move?
Yeah. Yes, I'm very happy with this. Everything in triple S tier deserves it so hard.
This was so
Wow,
fun.
it's almost like we should send more probes really, really far away.
Yeah, we should.
That's
we
the impression
absolutely
I'm
should.
getting.
Yeah, so this is if I wish I had like a pointer hand toggle. See? Look at all these up at the top. All of these. All these probes up here. Great. All these Mars missions down here. Boo.
Yeah, boring.
Boring.
Yeah. Okay, I will here. Let me. Oh wait, we gotta put JWST on here.
Oh yeah, go ahead, JWST, real quick.
Here, so what I was gonna do for that was I was just going to grab a screenshot
Yeah.
and plop it on top of it. So
Agreed.
I'll send it to you as an image.
Perfect.
Where would you put JWST?
Ooh. I don't know. Look, you had me pick where to put Galileo. I think it's fair you put where we should put JWST.
Okay, so JWST is pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah.
JWST has done things for the outer planets, like the outermost planets, as in like Uranus and Neptune, that nothing that exciting, data that good hasn't been taken since the Voyager flyby. JWST, oh my god, its hexagonal mirrors are beautiful. I love JWST. I'd put it in triple S tier. I would put it, where would I put it? I would put it, I think just at the end of S tier.
Okay.
If that sounds good.
Yeah.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that sounds okay.
Let me plop it there.
Because again, with the whole like the Parker Solar Probe is absolutely baller, just with the whole like sun stuff it has going on. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Okay. Then that is everything. Here, let me send this to you.
Yeah. Here, send it to me, and then I'll update my I'll update the stream.
Wait, that's one layer of it. Hold on. Let me send you the whole thing. I just sent you this weirdly cropped image of JWST.
Just in its own little section.
Okay, here we go. It's this one. There.
Yeah, perfect. Yes. Beautiful.
Yay! That was so fun. Thank you for doing this with me.
No, thank you. This was such a good idea. I had so much fun.
Yes.
We should do more. This was so good. I would love to do more. This was I had so much fun yapping about space and stuff like that. And this was like one of the first times I was able to actually yap a little bit more about my profession. So this is probably one of my favorite streams I've ever done in a really long time. So thank you so much.
Oh my god, I'm so happy to hear that. Oh, yay! I also had so much fun. Thank you
Yeah.
for being understanding of my Mars hate.
No,
And thank you for
you
also
gave great.
providing the information on half of these. Yeah, when we were organizing this, I was like, well, it was my idea, so I feel like I should bring all the information to the table, but also I have a whole ass thesis to do. So Aria, can you please do half of them?
No worries. I can do my research. I could do my stuff too. No, absolutely no worries at all. This was so fun
Yeah, I
though.
super appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries at all. I hope all your thesis and stuff like that and all your school stuff goes really well. I had so much
Thank
fun.
you. And I will also send you the link to the tier list. I'll put it in chat right now, and I'll also
Yeah,
send it
put
to
it in
you
chat.
in case any of the viewers want to make their own.
Yes. Make your own tier list. If you disagree with anything that we put in our tier list, then by all means, show off your tier list and what you think is the better. If your tier list is better than ours, I disagree because our tier list is the best. But either way,
Our tier list is the best, but I do want to see others in my Discord if anybody else makes them.
yeah, same. Mm-hmm.
All
This
right,
was so
Aria, I
fun.
should wrap it up, but I had so much fun. This was amazing. You're
Yeah, this was
amazing, and I hope your
great.
subathon continues to go amazing.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Kim. I think I'm gonna have another. I think I'm gonna be streaming a little bit longer. I think I'm playing Getting Over It to in a couple. I might take like a mini break, or I might jump right in. We'll see. Either way, I'm gonna be absolutely
Nice.
playing a rage game in a little bit. So and this was definitely perfect and very well needed before I absolutely break a controller or something. So
Yeah, I hope you enjoy Getting Over It, and I will talk to you later.
yeah, until next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye. All right. That was so fun. That was absolutely incredible. All right. I gotta switch us over. We're gonna yap for a little bit. I hope that's chill with you guys. And I'm probably gonna have to prepare for next stream. I'm probably gonna go eat something, and then we'll just go from there. Let me see here. I'm gonna switch us over to just chatting and yapping, and we'll go from there. This was so fun. I had such a good time. It was so fun to yap about space stuff because this was probably, again, one of the first times that I was actually able to yap a little bit more about space stuff and kind of flex some of my space knowledge, which is great. And I love space. I love space so much. I hope that's obvious. But either way, this was absolutely one of my favorite streams to have done in a very long time. And I had so much fun. Either way, I am probably going to do a little break before we jump right in to the next stream. Because guess what, guys? I'm streaming some more right after this. I believe, let's see here. If I remember correctly, I am going to be playing Getting Over It, which is very much a rage game. So I'm going to be a little angry. I'm going to be a little angry. I'm going to be not very happy. And we're going to go from there. Oh, I'm back. I took a nap. Are we ending? Not exactly. So I am ending this segment with doing the space tier list, and we're gonna be playing Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, which is a rage game, admittedly, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. This was a subathon reward, so we're gonna have a lot of fun with that, and we're gonna keep going with all of our subathon stuff, and we're gonna go from there. As usual, gifted subbies are super appreciated. Whenever I start up next stream, we are gonna go dive right in. I'm gonna make gifted subbies 35% off as usual, so that way you guys can absolutely watch me rage as I try my best to do this climbing game. Either way. Fun, you mean you're gonna crash out lots? No, I'm not gonna crash out that much. I'm not gonna crash out that much. Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe I am gonna crash out a little bit. Either way, I'm very excited. Lots of good stuff, and we'll go from there whenever we officially jump right in and get started. Let me see here. I might give myself like an hour or two for break, and I'll adjust the next stream accordingly on YouTube. Let me see here, because I'm pretty sure I have the next stream planned for 2 my time. Let me double check. Let me double check. Yeah. So I have it planned for like right now, which is in like 10 minutes. But I'm gonna need a little bit of a break so that way I can go get some food and then we'll come back. Either way, how about we meet back up here again in, let's say, 3 hours? Yeah, let's say 3 hours from now. So let's see. Yeah. Let's meet back up here in 3 hours. I'll play a rage game because I really need some food, and then we'll go from there. And I'll make sure to get some food, and we'll go from there. Either way, enjoy the break, and feel free to absolutely do the tier list, and we'll go from there. And if any of you do your own tier lists, feel free to absolutely throw those over into the Discord server, and we'll go from there. I'll see you guys in literally 3 hours, so you guys better not miss me, okay? I'll be back in 3 hours. It'll be fine. I know I'll be gone, but it'll be absolutely fine. Either way, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you really soon. After this, after my break, we'll play a rage game, and we'll go from there. And it'll be lots of fun. She hates us. I do not hate you. I do not hate you guys at all. I love you guys so much. Either way, again, if anyone needs it, waiting room for that is gonna be in YouTube. So if anyone needs to double check or set pings for yourself, then by all means, do what you gotta do. And I'm gonna go eat. You guys can go eat as well. There's a waiting room. Yes, there is. For the Bennett Foddy one. You can check it out on YouTube. But you could definitely just wait 3 hours and then come back on Twitch. Whichever you guys want to do. I do recommend if anyone does plan on doing like gifted subbies and all that jazz, then hang out on Twitch. Because YouTube, you can't do gifted subbies over there, obviously. But either way, up to you. Who am I to judge? Hi, miss. You are my favorite double. I am so late. No worries at all. I'm going to be taking a break for like 3 hours, and then we are going to come back, and I'm going to be streaming some more. So even if you're late, not to worry. I stream some more coming up. So absolutely, you didn't miss anything. And if anybody wants to check out the VOD, then it's going to be done baking over on YouTube, so you can definitely check that out. Either way, definitely something you can consider. And we'll go from there. Alright, I'll see you guys in 3 hours. Somebody do a timer. Somebody do a timer for 3 hours, and we'll go from there. Bye-bye, Aria. Love you. See you later. Bye, guys. I'll see you guys in 3 hours. Go eat something. I highly recommend it. Bring a snack or something, and then we'll absolutely rage together, and we'll have lots of fun. Does that sound good with you guys? I hope so. I'll see you guys in a couple hours. We'll go from there. Bye-bye.